There are a million of you here, and you all want the exact same thing. You all want it so bad.
I'm gonna say something nice. You should quit.
You're talented. It's not a question of if. It's just a question of when.
I feel like we're on the edge of something amazing. Can't imagine being anywhere else.
The LA Complex.
If you're someone that's watched a lot of dramas, there's definitely been at least one that you liked that ended prematurely. This happens fairly often for a lot of reasons, the main one being the appeal it has and how good the ratings are. Since my teen years, I've watched a lot of television dramas, and I got used to some of them being cancelled by a network, one of them being the LA Complex. At the time, I specifically watched dramas on the CW and ABC Family, now Freeform. Being a fan of Degrassi at the time, I was looking for a show that was more adult. The LA Complex was just another show that I remembered liking when I was younger, but I never revisited it. All I remember thinking was that Manny from Degrassi was on it. Everything else was a complete blank to me. I couldn't remember a single thing about it as I was going in for this rewatch, so it was definitely going to be an experience. As I started rewatching, I was shocked with how little I even remembered of the show. Usually things start to come back to me as I revisit things. Other than a few small things here and there, I couldn't really remember any of the plot lines or the characters. I also noticed two names that were familiar that made me curious about the production because I never put two and two together when I was younger. Although this takes place in LA, you can tell it's a Canadian production through and through. It seems that they filmed the show in Canada and California. All the main characters are basically from Canada with the exception of a few. This could have been a more creative choice to focus on Canadians specifically trying to make it in LA. The more likely reason was because it was easier to hire Canadian actors since the show was primarily filmed there. I'm sure Epitome Pictures is familiar to a lot of you since it's the same company that produced Degrassi. This is also produced by Linda Schuyler and Stephen Stohn. The show aired on the CW in the US and premiered on CTV, airing on Much Music afterwards. The show got about a full season, 19 episodes, before the CW and Bell Media decided to pull the plug. I thought since a lot of us are fans of Degrassi that it would be interesting to look at other shows that share the same DNA. So let's do a complete deep dive on the LA Complex to figure out what happened. Why did it fail to leave a larger impact on audiences? Was the show good? Why didn't it run longer? The answer isn't as simple as saying that the show was bad. There are aspects I liked and aspects that I didn't, so let's try to figure out what went wrong. The LA Complex revolves around a group of adults striving to make it in the entertainment business despite constantly facing challenges, dealing with internal and external conflicts, and focusing on developing romantic relationships. The central location that connects all of the characters is the Deluxe Motel, they refer to as the Lux, where it seems a bunch of party people and striving entertainers stay. The production of the show looks pretty good overall. There are different locations, so it doesn't feel too limiting with the setting. Sometimes a Canadian accent will slip out with some of the extras every now and then, but I do think the show looks good overall. Obviously, one of the main appeals for me checking out the show was Cassie Steele. Falling in love with her performance as Manny made me curious about how she would be in another role. Because the show was cut short, we didn't really get to see full character development, and this includes Cassie Steele's character Abby, which I do have to say is very similar to Manny's character. There isn't too much distinction there. The character even has the same goals as Manny, which is to become a famous actress. This isn't anything towards Cassie Steele's performance. It's the type of character that she was told to play. I think she's a great actress. I just bring it up because we didn't really get a chance to see how she could have maybe differentiated her performance here from what she brought to Manny. Let's get an idea of who the main characters are before we start. Abby Vargas is new to the acting world and has struggled to make it for 6 months in LA. She's the protagonist, I guess, of the show, but it soon becomes clear that she starts to slip into the background. She starts off the show down on her luck, out of her depth, and learning how to survive LA as a struggling actress. Raquel Westbrook is an older actress and she hasn't had a breakout role in years. She's struggling to get roles and feels upstaged by younger actresses. She's cynical, jaded, and bitter since she's convinced that her acting days are over.
We're going black.
It says colorblind casting, though. Well, I mean, who has a black best friend? Do you have a white best friend? Do any of you have a white best friend? No, it's a TV-only thing. Sometimes I can pull off Latina.
We'll keep you in mind.
Connor Lake is a seemingly charming, good-looking Australian actor who just got a main role in a medical show, but also secretly struggles to keep up with the demands of being an actor, also struggling with loneliness and depression. Tariq Mohammed is a shy intern at a hip-hop label, hoping to make his own music and break away from serving others. Nick Wagner is your stereotypical awkward nice guy who's also a struggling comedian. He's also a nerd that has trouble directly stating what he wants. Being cowardly in nature, this usually leads to him being a pushover, letting others easily walk all over him. Caldrick King is a rapper who recently got out of prison and is trying to make a comeback from a stint in his career. Alicia Lowe is a hardworking dancer that is willing to do anything she can to stay in LA, including stripping. She also struggles to maintain her values and integrity when the industry offers her a different path to success. Episode 1 starts off introducing us to our main characters and what a typical day is like for them. Abby is trying to get back into her apartment that she'd been evicted from to retrieve some of her things, while also on the phone with her boyfriend who's sick of their long-distance relationship since she moved to LA. After getting caught by her landlord, she grabs a bag and leaves out the fire escape and then drives away in a car. In between Abby's segments are the other character introductions, starting with Raquel auditioning for a part and also revealing one of her main conflicts, being an older actress and trying to make a comeback.
No, I'm not auditioning for the mom role. I'm waiting for Cindy.
We then get introduced to Tariq running around town doing errands for the guys he works for.
Dynasty wants apple pan burgers for lunch.
Well, that's the opposite end of town.
Ding, 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 ding. That's 10 points, Tariq. Good answer.
Hey, Jay, I was wondering if later maybe I could play you guys a couple of my beats.
Nick is a struggling comedian who works at a coffee shop. He's also clearly cowardly and awkward, revealing this to be his main conflict. Connor is a new actor that just landed a main role on a show when he hasn't really had much experience before this. Although the woman that he's talking to seems to be confident, you can tell that he's already insecure with his own performance and abilities as an actor.
Is that okay? Because you have to tell me if you're not getting what you need. This is going to be on every billboard in town.
Abby's running late for her audition, and then things get worse when her car stops working. Connor's moving out of the Lux and into a house provided by the show, and Nick is running through his comedy routine with him.
My favorite bag is this one bag I keep under the sink, and all the other bags know it's my favorite because they have to go inside it. So they're like, man, next time Nick needs to take a banana in a juice box somewhere, I'm a goner. But look at old Miracle Mart bag. He ain't even scared. That's the whole joke. Finally part of a decent lineup tomorrow, I'm gonna blow it.
Nick then asks about the pills that Connor has and if he's going to take them, and Connor says he doesn't need them anymore. We don't know what these pills are for, but we can assume that Connor took them for some type of anxiety or depression. Raquel then walks in asking about a part that Connor was supposed to get for her on his show. We already see how demanding Raquel is and how angry she is that she keeps getting overshadowed by younger actresses.
You don't ask, you tell. You seen the bitch they cast? Or the exact same? How is she a different type?
They wanted someone closer to my age.
Next time you're lonely at 2 a.m, call somebody else. Maybe someone closer to your age.
Tariq calls Nick to help Abby, and he's clearly already interested in her, going so far to help her find a place to stay after she finds out that she missed her audition. Nick is able to convince Eddie, the owner of the Lux, or the landlord, I guess. He's also another comedic side character, and he decides to let Abby stay in one of the empty rooms at the Lux. She clearly lies to him saying that she has money to put up in a few days, but she doesn't. Nick then introduces Abby to Connor, who clearly has more confidence. He's the conventionally more attractive one, and he takes her to get another drink. Nick, being such a nice guy, doesn't even realize he just cucked himself. Later on at a party, Alicia bumps into Eddie and tells him that she might get a call back to be a dancer on tour for Usher.
Well, I have dance class most mornings.
I thought you were already a dancer.
I am. It's something you have to keep working at.
Abby and Connor get to know each other on the roof, where she complains about her boyfriend not being supportive. Connor then reveals a little about his family when Abby brings up his parents and being proud of his accomplishments. He shrugs this off by acting like he'll be fired eventually.
I haven't really seen my mum since I was a kid, and my dad doesn't really care either way. I'm not sure if he even knows about it. I haven't even really done a guest spot, and now I'm a lead.
It's clear that Connor puts on this cheery persona to help him deal with his insecurities, so he doesn't have to be weighed down as much by the pressure. One thing leads to another, and Abby and Connor end up having sex on the roof. The next morning, they realize that they were both unprotected and decide to get the morning after pill. While down in the main area, Raquel calls over Connor and apologizes, in her own way, of course, for coming off so ungrateful to him. They then flirt with each other, establishing more of what their relationship is like.
I was a bitch yesterday.
Yesterday.
The idiot. I'm trying to apologize to you.
Oh, please don't let me stop you.
Thank you. And I'm sorry. Are we good?
Depends. Can I still call you at 2 in the morning?
Maybe.
And then Abby interrupts them, and Raquel is already intimidated by her, clearly.
Are you Raquel Westbrook?
Sure am.
What are you doing here? You do? Why?
Okay, we should...
Just moved in, so we're neighbors.
Awesome.
I'll see you around, okay?
Can't wait.
After getting the morning after pill, Abby goes to an audition where things seem to be going well until side effects start kicking in.
We can get you some sides. Maybe you could...
I am so sorry. I was really concentrating on not throwing up. I thought I had it licked.
Tariq tries to get his boss to listen to his music, and no one is impressed.
2 seconds later, I do something really good. Then maybe that's where you should have started the track. Because all I heard was just the derivative part. You know what? Let's just get back to work.
Okay, wait, D, let me just... No. You had your chance, man. Now why don't you just clean all this up? And when you done, find some other stuff to clean up.
Later, he takes it upon himself to send his track with the others that he was supposed to send. And guess what rapper liked what he sent? Just guess.
Drake liked my beat.
The boss is referred to as D, someone that I'm sure some of you are familiar with. I had to make sure because I was looking for a bit, and I was like, why does this guy look familiar? And then I realized it was BLT from Degrassi High. I know some of you are probably just like, who? I just wanted to mention that because I saw that and I thought it was cool. Although D is angry with Tariq's defiance, he doesn't end up firing him because it's clear he recognizes that he has some skill. I guess I should go over some of the friendships and relationships and how the characters are connected. Everyone seems to be somewhat familiar with each other at the Lux, even if they aren't as close of friends. Nick seems to be at least friendly with Tariq to have his number, and Connor to be helping him move. Nick also seems to be really close with Alicia more than the others. Connor and Raquel seem to have a friends with benefits type of relationship, and Abby is friends with Tariq, though it's not clear how they met. Nick also performs at a comedy live show where things don't go well. He gets up on stage and bombs.
Red banger, ladies and gentlemen.
Not my name.
It's Wagner, Nick Wagner. Get it right next time, Paul.
No. But look at that old Miracle Mart bag. He ain't even scared. Doesn't make any sense.
He's then later told by 2 comedians that he should just quit. Like, it's just so cruel that it ends up being funny.
You know, I go even smaller. A space that holds minus people. You should quit.
And this Paul guy clearly doesn't like Nick, and it's a consistent gag whenever we see him.
You are 6th, right in the old sweet spot. Up first is some poor son of a bitch named Nick Wagner.
Well, I am Nick Wagner. How long is your warm-up gonna be?
Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Wagner. How long was that? Like 2-3 seconds max? Maybe.
Earlier in the episode, Raquel was approached by these 2 wannabe filmmakers, Kevin and Cam, who want her to read their script because they think she has connections, and she acts like she does to make herself look better.
And I'm thinking about firing my agents, and the climate right now is... I'm pretty busy, guys.
You see laying by the pool all day.
Can I be in your movie? Give me your stupid script.
She's also clearly desperate to get recognized and enter the world of acting, trying to get the script picked up by an investor. We also see Connor put a tea kettle in his closet, leaving some intrigue about him and why he wants to keep it away. We see Alicia waiting for a callback while also seeing her typical day, still maintaining a workout routine, going to dance auditions, and then stripping at night. When Abby needs to make some money, Alicia even offers to get her a job at the strip club that she works at. For the first episode, I think it does a decent job establishing the positions each of the characters are in and where they want to go in the entertainment industry. We also get a good understanding of which characters are connected to each other. The show also leaves us curious about certain characters, particularly Connor and Raquel, who seem to have a lot more under the surface. It also leaves us wondering how the characters will be able to attain what they want. Episode 2 starts off with Abby telling Alicia how she doesn't think she'll be able to strip. Alicia tells her if she can get a guy to take her to the champagne room for a lap dance, then they'll skip her turn to strip. But Abby doesn't know what the champagne room really entails. While on a guy's lap, she gets an offer for an audition.
You got a great look. A curvy Mila Kunis means like an Asian Jean triple horn.
Thank you.
And things seem to be going well for Abby until the guy grabs her boob, and she freaks out on him.
What did you do to her? He grabbed my tit. What's it?
It's the champagne room.
That's what I'm saying! God, I want to fight it.
Okay, calm down.
Now give me a girl that knows what she's doing. Someone less new and less stupid.
Getting fired altogether. Conveniently, her agent calls with an audition for a
Hooker roll. You think you can find an appropriate outfit?
Yeah, I think I can cobble something together.
At the audition, she runs into Raquel, who she notices has a cozy relationship with the casting director. Abby goes in for her audition, only to be sent out after, realizing how quick they were to reject her performance. Raquel somewhat sympathizes with Abby, probably because she was in a similar position at a certain point. As they're walking to Raquel's car, she gives Abby some advice.
All I do is wait for the phone to ring. It's over in 5 seconds. Now where am I? Back to waiting for my phone to ring.
Yeah, well, we all are. That's the way it goes.
I'm new. Nobody knows me. I have to make an impression every single time I'm in there, or they won't call again.
Raquel even seems like a decent person, even though she doesn't act like it.
You can't kill yourself over every audition. You just have to do them and forget about it. Not all of them are going to be winners for you. Some will. Assuming you don't totally suck.
Thanks.
I know you think we're different.
Until she gets a call telling her that she's on hold for the part. Raquel immediately goes into bitch mode the moment she thinks she has the leg up on Abby.
Means I'm on hold for the part.
Do you know where Connor's set is?
Sweetie, it's really poor form to drop by someone's set unannounced. You didn't know. You're new. I have a big meeting in the valley with a producer, so you okay for bus fare?
I'm good.
Great.
Later, she goes to Connor, hoping that he'd be a distraction, but he decides to rain check, and Raquel is shocked considering
I'm dressed like a hooker.
she's also insecure and jealous of Abby, who is younger, and ends up getting the part over her. Later, Connor gets told that he needs to memorize new lines, and we see that Connor is unfamiliar with the fast-paced demands of quick rewrites and having to memorize new lines on the fly.
You got the new pages, right? Yeah, no, it's just I memorized the old ones.
I need you to memorize the new ones.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Which I can't even imagine how stressed out I would be trying to do this. He asks one of the actresses to run through the pink pages, which she misinterprets, thinking that he wants to hook up. Connor and Abby have been trying to meet up, but keep missing each other. And then when he thinks he has some free time, he gets handed new lines to memorize.
Is this next episode?
This episode, total rewrite for tomorrow.
Oh, this for tomorrow.
Yeah, and we've got your call time too.
And we start to see Connor pushing himself to keep up with the demands. Alicia meets this new guy named Rick that's supposed to be an actor for some old movie similar to The Goonies, I guess.
Also, I wasn't in Goonies, I was in the other one. Ricky Lloyd, right? My little sister was in love with you.
You don't use past tenses, buddy. Your sister still loves me. Yeah, I was just messing with him back there. I overheard you've got someplace you need to be, right? Like an audition or something?
He seems like a really nice guy, willing to let her go to an audition and cover for her, validating her when she's feeling down about herself. He even takes her to a movie premiere. They seem to have pretty good chemistry too. What could go wrong? Connor gets Nick a job on set as a stand-in, and he makes a fool of himself.
Patrick, I'm saying yes. What? What are you doing?
It's for lighting.
He also starts talking the other stand-in's ear off, complaining about his problems.
She sleeps with someone else. Just like the second you smiled at me, I knew I'd screw it up. My whole life is awkward hugs with beautiful women. Tell me what I'm doing wrong.
First of all, you talk too much.
She later gives him some advice about standing up for himself and making a move.
But don't you hate me because I tried to kiss you?
No, I hate you because you're stupid.
Stupid because I think too much.
There you go.
Trust my gut, don't think.
Now you got it.
Abby gets kicked out of her place and asks Nick if she can stay with him. After she learns that she got the part over Raquel, Nick thinks that it's a good time to make a move, and things just go badly for him.
I was just kissing you.
Oh,
This is the part where you tell me why not.
I love hanging out with you, and you're nice, and you're funny, and you're great. Please say we're still good.
Yeah, we're good. Of course we're good.
Okay.
It's kind of hard for me to feel bad here, even though I know what the show is trying to do. Nick is supposed to gain his confidence and prove to himself he can impress a girl, and that's fine. At the same time, though, it does kind of show how men feel entitled to women for something. I'm not trying to be that person, but it really comes off that way, especially when they're nice to women or do something nice for them. Nick thinks Abby wants him and is upset with her for not wanting him. He doesn't want to be the mean guy, but he also doesn't want to keep striking out either. Tariq gets the chance to produce a track with rapper Keldrick King, who is, as Dee describes,
This man is dangerous. So if you don't come with your A game, he will get real malevolent with you.
immediately upon meeting Keldrick, Tariq sees how intimidating he is.
I told you to come here, but not to talk music. I gotta know somebody before I agree to work with. Know who they are and what they about. If they real or a punk ass bitch. Today's your audition.
Keldrick doesn't trust him. He also specifically doesn't want Tariq to bring up music. He demeans Tariq's car
Is this your car? Strike one. Images everything.
and makes fun of where he came from. Keldrick tries to learn more about Tariq in a pretty aggressive way, asking him questions about his past.
Speak up. I don't really know him that well because he was always working, like all the time. Oshleg is on Niv. It's a neighborhood in Montreal.
And y'all didn't get a nickname or something?
Sorry, no, it's not Oakland.
Here you go with those apologies again.
We learn that Tariq's father was a dry cleaner. He worked hard. We also see how timid Tariq is with Keldrick, who pushes him to speak louder, also being someone that challenges Tariq and encourages him to be more confident.
There's no right or wrong answer, so stop acting like I'm interrogating you.
Yeah, well, you sort of are.
I know, but I'm telling you, stop acting like it. It just makes things more difficult. Let your shoulders down. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take a coat hanger out your shirt. It's a start.
After failing to impress Keldrick by taking him to a record store,
This place has the best stacks in the city for vintage
I
fines.
said this wasn't about the music. Now that's strike two, and you got one more chance to show me someplace important to you. Why the hell am I walking anyway? Come around here and get my ass.
Tariq takes him to the Lux, not really having anywhere else that's personal to him. After being approached by fans at the Lux,
Cadillac town representing old town. Ain't no other bigger six-figure trigger.
Strike three.
Keldrick ends up being pissed off with Tariq again, who then explains the truth to him.
Look, I do not have important places in LA. You don't want to talk about work. Well, you know what? This is where I sleep. Because that's all I ever do. Work and sleep. Now you know me.
Keldrick then sympathizes with Tariq a bit and asks him to take him somewhere to eat.
What's French for hungry? So get some taquitos.
My pops is a con, yours is a workaholic. But they both taught us the same thing. Work, sleep, and nothing else.
Caldrick talks about why he hasn't put out an album in years. He explains that he wants rap to reflect his life, and because his life doesn't reflect the violent lyrics of his old rap, he hasn't had the motivation to make anything new.
Truth changes. I ain't the same person no more. I ain't out here running the streets and hustling, but they still want those same verses, though.
It's like you're still a prisoner.
Exactly right, man. Gotta let you talk more often. You all right.
And things seem to be going well between them, until someone from the paparazzi starts taking pictures of Caldrick, who gets angry and aggressive and beats the shit out of the guy.
I'm a huge fan, man.
Look, oh, that's how you can take my picture? Look, do something. Get up. Get up and do something. Yeah, I thought so. Let's go. I said let's go.
Tariq sees how violent Caldrick is, and we see the hesitation that he also has. I also have to bring this up because it does play a part here. The fact that Caldrick is a black man and the fact that he acted so violently in public without thinking of the consequences just shows how reckless and emotionally unstable he is. It also reflects his poor judgment on top of the fact that he doesn't know how to manage his anger, which leads to physical aggression. This is also going to lead to a very toxic cycle as the show goes on. Later, Caldrick takes Tariq to a strip club, and when questioned about his violent behavior, Caldrick justifies this by saying that his behavior is what they expect from him anyway.
I'm a celebrity, and everybody wants a piece of me. So if I want to protect those pieces, I gotta get a little militant sometimes. Besides, that dude's a fan. He knows I'm violent. Hell, that's what he loves about me. I just did him a favor. Made his wish come true.
Caldrick rationalizes his behavior because of the position he's in and the power he has over others. Because of this, it's easy for him to get aggressive with people, because he doesn't really have to care about the consequences. Tariq ends up calling him out about why he gets violent with others.
You punch people because you got nothing to rap about. That's why you stopped making albums. Because if you were real, you'd be rapping about your gated communities and how much tax you pay. So you figure if you keep punching people, getting DUIs, maybe you get a verse out of it. That ain't real. And I thought real is what you're all about.
He also says something of note here that I want you to remember for later.
Are you gonna hit me?
Tariq and Caldrick talk more, getting some more vulnerability from Caldrick.
They want this from the king, but what they don't want is change.
See, I thought what people responded to was honesty. Your words.
Will you stop listening so hard?
This guy right here. That's the man I want to know more about. Because that's what we got to put on track, right? I mean,
Now you gotta mess it up by talking about music.
It also seems that Caldrick gets angry when Tariq brings up music because he sees that Tariq recognizes him and he doesn't want it to just be about music. They go back to Caldrick's house later, where Tariq shares some ideas he has about the album.
First off, I got a great idea for your album title.
Got an idea for what?
The King's Speech. For like the intro track, we use British horns, and then you're like, this is Caldrick, King, the King of Cali. Totally screwing with you, man.
Getting a little too comfortable with me, youngster.
They go inside to listen to some more records, and one thing leads to another, and
Do something.
Seeing me having hard time, having hard time. There's no love.
Episode 3 starts the next morning. Tariq is still at Caldrick's place, and we start to see how this relationship is gonna be. Caldrick's afraid of their relationship being revealed, so he has to hide him from everyone. We also start to see how Caldrick pretends to be straight, demeaning his relationship with Tariq, especially when it makes him look like more of a man in front of the other guys.
Well, I was riding the thing like Seabiscuit.
Yo, Tariq, did you meet this girl?
Nah, he'd already left by then.
He also yells at Tariq when he starts to talk for Caldrick and his feelings about the track.
It takes a sample, makes it fuller, more aggressive, without losing all that raw sadness. King wants us to be a track about who he really is, not all that.
Not feeling it.
This is what we talked about.
I said I'm not feeling it. It ain't my job to explain why. It's your job to bring me something I like. Do your job.
Caldrick pretends that he doesn't like Tariq to make things less suspicious, which isn't fair because this is Tariq's chance to become more than an intern. Later, when they're alone, Caldrick justifies his actions because he can't be found out about.
But I got rules. Not in Cali, never at work, and nothing I can't walk away from. I gotta treat you a certain way around other people. So if we're gonna do this, we gotta play this close to the vest.
I'm about to get fired because Dynasty
ain't gonna do nothing. I got this under control. Did you not hear the part where I said I'm breaking all my rules for you? You scare me, and you know why.
Since his epic fail with Abby, Nick has been avoiding her, including bombing at another comedy show. He later talks with this girl who watched his performance and she also thinks he sucks. And they eventually go back to her room where she gets a little freaky with this awkward nerdy guy.
Choke me.
Oh, you know, I'm good.
It's okay, I like it.
Y'all not choking you so nice.
Okay, just choke, man. You passed out after I choked you.
What did you do to me?
No, you had a lot to drink last night, so...
Oh, you're gonna get all judgy on me now. That's attractive.
Okay, I think I'm gonna take off.
In the morning, things get worse when she doesn't remember him and thinks he's the freak. Abby has a role on Connor's show and shows up early to visit him. When she walks into his trailer, he's literally in the middle of having sex. She leaves abruptly and then falls out of his trailer and bumps her head. Connor tries to explain himself, but Abby doesn't really want to hear it. After breaking up with her boyfriend, she thought that Connor was someone she could trust and be serious with, but she was clearly wrong. Later, she learns that her lines were cut from the show anyway, and now she's just going to be lying in a body bag. While in the shower, Abby walks in on Nick and asks if she can stay longer since she doesn't have anywhere to go. He says yes, and Abby invites herself to one of his comedy shows, not knowing how badly he sucks. At first, he starts his usual routine that doesn't land, and then gets the idea for some new material.
Laughing because Megan's telling them all how bad I am at sex. The only way she can have an orgasm is if I strangle her. Of course, I'd heard of this before. By heard, I mean seen on the internet. I picked the guy who, let's be honest, looks like a malnourished James Franco.
I mean, it sucks that he outed the girl, but Nick has finally discovered self-deprecation, which could definitely work in his favor. Abby also seems to be impressed with him too, so things are going well for Nick. As far as Nick as a character so far, although I know what they're trying to do, showing how bad his routine is, it does kind of feel comically unbelievable that his stand-up would be this bad and he'd even keep attempting to be a comedian. Even though his jokes are kind of chuckle-worthy, they're not really stand-up good, if that makes any sense. Maybe it's just me, maybe I don't get stand-up comedy, honestly. Raquel gets the idea to go to AA where she can do some networking to get the film funded. During a meeting, Raquel finds interest in a guy named Gary, a rich dentist who never got into the entertainment industry. She decides he would be perfect enough to take advantage of.
I mean, I want to be in show business. And that's the last time I remember actually wanting something. And I realize how pathetic that is because A, it's show business, and B, it was 30 years ago. But I'm sober now, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and that's what I keep coming back to. I need to do something different. This isn't working.
Things don't go well for her when she approaches Gary, who ends up disgusted with her when he realizes what she's doing.
I have a really great script.
Are you pitching me a script at AA?
Okay, I just...
Not interested.
Desperation is a major theme in this show, and we get to actually see characters considering doing things that neither you or I would consider doing. Raquel literally fakes alcoholism to gain some sympathy, so she can take advantage of others for her own gain. I can't say this isn't realistic that someone would do this, especially someone desperately clinging onto the industry. We also see that desperation as she makes her way to other smaller agencies, and none of them seem to be interested.
No, thank you for meeting with me. Water, you got anything stronger? I felt like we were growing apart. It could be like a really good comeback role. Not that I went away. How do I see myself? Well, I'm unique. I'm kind of an every girl. I'm just ready to work. I just want to work. I'm just ready to work.
Later, Raquel finds out that Cam and Kevin, the two wannabe filmmakers I mentioned before, met with someone that could get them a celebrity to play the lead role. I'm not going to say the name of this celebrity because I don't want to dead name them, but I did feel bad every time this person's name was used. It's not like the show could have known, but you know, hindsight. Anyway, Raquel gets worried that she's being pushed out of the project and warns them that they won't be successful without her. Now even more desperate than before, Raquel pretends to run into Gary where she apologizes to him, and then he feels bad for her and apologizes to her. They end up having dinner together, and eventually she gets Gary to ask to look at the script.
Basically, I just run around, auditions, meetings, changing outfits in the car, and I get recognized for something I did 11 years ago. It's not working. It's dumb, but I really feel like this script is my last shot. Maybe I've lost all perspective. Maybe it's awful.
Can I read it for perspective?
Alicia gets cut after another audition. She meets up with Rick, who comes up with the idea to film a sex tape.
Mom, I hardly know her.
She's your sister.
Stepsister, I may have met her 4 times. I need to talk.
So proud of you. She's bragged all her friends about that Usher tour.
I didn't even book that.
That's
Why
your
would you?
phone coming up. I haven't even started dinner.
Mom.
I have to go. Love you, sweetie.
Like anyone else, Alicia is hesitant at first, but eventually decides to do it when she sees her dancing career slipping away. Like I said, I think what this show does well is showing flawed characters and how they behave when they're desperate. It's not an easy decision to make. Even though everyone is written to be harsh, it does show you how the industry is ready to drop you at any moment. If you have morals, you'll soon start to question which ones you can sacrifice, until desperation is all you have left. We see this halfway point with Alicia where she wants to maintain her values values and to get there the right way, and eventually she does have to give those up too, so she can get what she wants. The pressure gets worse for Connor when his agent tells him that he has to get an acting coach. He tries to get those pills back from Nick, but he already sold them. We also start to learn that Connor is extremely lonely and looks for company, even if it's only for the night. When he keeps messing up on takes, he gets yelled at by the director. As his loneliness gets worse, he calls Nick, Abby, and Raquel, who don't answer. We also see how Connor copes with his loneliness, and that's through self-harm, boiling water, pouring it on his skin. I have to say there are certain things I am impressed by with the LA complex, showing two black men engaged in a relationship, focusing on depression in men. Episode 4 starts with a flashback focusing on a young Connor and what happened with his mother. His father is passed out on the couch, and he notices his mother leaving with his older brother and younger sister. It's unclear why his mother didn't take him with her. Maybe she didn't have enough money to take Connor and be able to take care of the baby at the same time. It doesn't seem like Connor wanted to stay with the father. The older brother, I guess, is just going off on his own because he's old enough to take care of himself. His mother is also clearly prioritizing the baby over him.
I can't stay here anymore. Your brother can take care of himself, and I have to take care of Charlotte. I can't. I'll come back for you, I promise. But now you have to stay with your daddy, okay? But he hates me. You need that, Connor.
Assuming Connor is old enough to take care of himself, we know that he has abandonment issues and copes with that by putting on a smile while hiding the pain that he feels. It also explains why he wants to be with someone for temporary pleasure, because he gets comfort from knowing someone is around. We saw in the previous episode how Connor was afraid that he wasn't going to be able to memorize his lines, implying he'd been up all night while he had a woman still sleeping in his bed.
Hey, can you run these with me?
Oh, sorry, I gotta be there half an hour before call, so I should go.
To me, it feels like he gets comfort just from knowing someone's around. After meeting his acting coach, Paul, he talks about how he doesn't have confidence in his abilities.
I think that Connor, why am I here? Because I'm not good enough. Let's go for a walk.
And he gets words of encouragement from Paul, who is really friendly and nice. He also gives off a fatherly vibe.
But didn't you have like 3 callbacks? 8.
Wow, there's a lot of lucky auditions. Your sister had a small pulmonary embolism. Put her on blood thinners.
This is a terrible actor. You're good. I mean, everyone in town went up for this thing. Why would you get it? Exactly. I don't know why, but they did. So maybe you're good. Seems like the simplest explanation, don't you think?
Which it's clear that Connor quickly attaches to Paul because of that. He doesn't have a paternal figure, and Paul validates Connor and reassures him that he's talented, and it makes him feel special. He makes him feel wanted.
Now, you may not think you know what you're doing, but they sure do. But everybody loves you. All right, come on. You can do this.
He later overhears Paul yelling at the director, telling him not to yell at Connor again, and he also hears Paul praise him.
Okay, don't talk to the kid like that again, ever. How's he doing anyway? I like him.
After doing so well on set, Connor oversteps his boundaries and goes over to Paul's house, wanting him to work with him again.
Just tell me what you want, and that's fine.
Who's this?
I'm sorry, it's no problem. Email's easier. You know, I'll see you around. Oh, see you on the TV. You did a good job today. All right, okay.
However, Paul explains that he's busy, and it was only supposed to be a one-shot deal type of thing. Connor sees that he has kids and his own life going on. You also see at this moment that Connor is desperate to have someone he can share his success with, and feel good about that, but he always finds himself alone again. He also attaches himself to the words of this coach so much, even though he may not have realized that, although coming from a place of sincerity, Paul was hired to make sure Connor performs his best, meaning giving him words of encouragement is kind of part of his job. To Connor, who's never heard these words of encouragement from someone, he clearly mistook this as something more meaningful. He clearly didn't realize that Paul wasn't taking a personal interest in him as a person, and that reality comes crashing down when he sees Paul at home with his own kids. While Nick is about to relieve himself, he discovers Alicia's movie online.
Oh my God.
She then explains herself to Nick.
When did you... What? Why?
Rick asked me. I like him, and I trust him. Name one person who didn't benefit from a sex tape. Identified as Los Angeles stripper Alicia Lowe. This is gonna open a lot of doors for me.
And she also starts to face the repercussions of making a sex tape when she gets cut from an audition.
So that whole sex tape thing, kind of counterproductive at this point. Sweat, Fusion, Metro, Livid. These are club names from across the country. We're talking appearance fees. So far, no one's called, which is unfortunate for you.
Alicia also says she doesn't mind getting naked in front of others, but there's definitely a part of her that has to swallow the shame she might feel for stripping or doing a sex tape, because her career isn't going where she wants it to. She was also convinced that making a sex tape would advance her career, but has only added complications. Things get even worse when she finds out that Rick is going on this rehab show and leaving altogether.
All my money's wrapped up in investments right now. Also, I don't have any. Drugs kind of cost a lot of money. This is not my place.
You lied to me.
Hey, No, I did not. I meant everything I said to you. One day you can be broke. The next minute you could be cast in some celebrity rehab style show. It happens all the time. Your opportunity will come.
So they can't sell the tape because of this, and there isn't going to be any money from it because he ended up spending it all. So he kind of screwed her over. Later, she gets a call offering her a job with Vivid Entertainment, a pornography production company. Nick takes Abby out to show her how to live life cheaply in LA.
Oh, in good time, grasshopper.
Not even just being racist.
Fair enough.
He gives her some words of encouragement after she feels down about not getting any roles. Things seem to be going better for them after their day out, and they end up kissing. Before getting any further, they're interrupted by Alicia, who wants to talk to Nick and get his advice. She tells him that she's been offered $100,000 to make a movie with them. She wants to know that she won't be judged if she decides to take the offer.
They are going to use you up and throw you away.
I'm
That's
already
what
in an
they
industry
do.
that does that. At least this way I'll be in control. I won't do anything I don't want to do.
You won't be dancing.
I'm not dancing now. I want to know if you're still going to be my friend if I do it.
I'm always going to be your friend.
Nick tells her that they'll still be friends. This also shows how, again, Alicia acts like she doesn't care about being naked in front of others, or she doesn't care about what people think, but she clearly does and doesn't want to lose the respect of her friend. Caldrick is worried that his relationship with Tariq will be found out, and he only agrees to meet up with him if it's somewhere where no one will recognize them. Tariq gets an idea to take them to a bed and breakfast 5 hours outside of LA. They find out the owners of the house will be there, and Cal worries about being spotted, but these are clearly two old white people who aren't going to know who Keldrick King is.
So you've been busy in the recording studio? What you say? Carl said you're a musician. Can I talk to you for a second?
Oh, he said he'd try.
We have plenty of games.
Yahtzee, Scrabble, Battleship. You know what? I'm good.
No.
Come on, man. That's a triple word score.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with sheezy.
It's not even new.
It's slang.
No, it's not. Faux cheesy. That would be slang.
They later find out that Tariq and Caldrick are a couple, and then bring up their daughter and how she got married to her partner.
You know, our daughter, she just got married in New York to a lovely woman. They're very much like you two. Different, but I don't know. Somehow it all seems to make sense.
This is also a way to show Caldrick that not everyone will judge him for who he is. He doesn't always have to be on guard.
This sweet girl says we've been together since our first date.
We met about 3 weeks ago.
A man who knows what he likes. Who made the first move?
We also see that the couple is pretty chill, whipping out a joint for them to smoke.
What is that?
It's weed.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's hella fine. Let me hit that.
Caldrick sees how things can be with Tariq.
Not even Hawaii? Man, you guys haven't been anywhere, have you?
I've been to all those places. Just not with anyone.
You gotta keep going. Start your own scrapbook.
And even though he wants it, he's deathly afraid of that world and retreats back to what he knows, which is lies, secrecy, anger, and resentment. Once they get back to LA, he's already back on guard, preparing their stories for where they were over the weekend. Raquel continues to make her new film role a reality by introducing Cam and Kevin to Gary, who's impressed with their script and offers them a few $100,000 to fund it. While at his house, Raquel meets Gary's ex-wife, who warns her about Gary and his broken promises. Later after dinner, Gary gives Raquel a gift for her birthday after finding it out on her IMDb page. He tells her that he can't sleep with her until around 12 months of being sober. She then goes to Connor's and they have sex over the countertop. Connor, who's desperate and lonely, asks her to move in with him, and she gets angry.
You know who I was with tonight? A nice guy who took me for a nice birthday dinner and got me a nice gift.
Is it your birthday?
Yes!
Well, how am I supposed to know that?
You're supposed to care! I don't want anything from you, and that's exactly what I get.
Well, then I'm giving you what you want, then, aren't I?
You're not good enough. You never were.
This is also how we see Raquel deal with her guilt. After seeing how nicely she was treated by Gary, receiving a gift from someone that bothered to learn when her birthday was, she's angry with Connor, who wants so much from her without really wanting to know her. She recognizes that she's being used by Connor, and she doesn't like the feeling of someone not genuinely wanting her. After he's left alone, Connor eyes the kettle as he grabs a bottle of tequila. Episode 5 starts with Connor going on a downward spiral. Clearly he's drinking more, barging in on scenes he's not supposed to be filming. He gets sent home when he can't remember any of his lines, which I imagine is not good because he looks like he's one of the main characters. After being forced to leave set, he ends up going to the Lux asking Eddie if he can get a place there again because he feels more comfortable around people there. He starts to lose his composure in front of Eddie, who doesn't really know how to support him other than offering him a drink.
No. Shh. You want a drink? Would you like, I'll make you one of these magical mojitos? How about that? Have a drink and we'll stop crying. It'll be great. Here, come sit. Okay.
After getting drunk from that, he sees Abby, who's upset and trying to get into her room. He helps her, and then she invites him in where they talk for a bit. Abby starts to see through his casual facade.
Is everything okay?
Not really.
What's wrong? Tell me.
I have a huge empty house. You can stay as long as you like.
But as he's getting a little vulnerable, he kisses Abby to distract himself, and she gets angry with him and kicks him out.
Well, what are you gonna do? You gonna stay on Nick's couch forever?
He's there for me.
I can be there for you. I'll just sit over here, and you just stay over there, and I promise that I won't try and touch you if we come and just talk. I am sorry.
Later at a bar, Connor is drunk and starts a brawl with another guy, seeking the pain that comes with it.
Somebody tell me where this home is that everyone keeps talking about, because I'll go there. You enjoying the show?
Not really.
Nick is worried about his relationship with Abby after they were interrupted last episode. He goes to an improv group to learn some comedic techniques.
The baby is yours and it's coming. It's coming. Okay.
I'll keep the baby and you deal with the bomb. We can do this. Hold my coffee. I love you.
And scene.
And this is where he meets Sabrina, a snarky comedian that takes a liking to him.
Were you like in character?
You know, I was just so into it up there. I don't know who it was.
Huh?
Are you funnier than I am? I'm just messing with you. I know the answers now.
I like Patton Oswalt a lot.
So you know how to use the internet. That's good.
I do, yes.
Good.
I actually just got into the Just Relax showcase.
You know what I just decided while you were trying to brag to me? You should come over now and listen to it.
Come over to your place.
Yeah.
They end up having sex at her apartment, and then he starts to tell her about his relationship with Abby. While explaining how much of a loser he is, they start joking around about casual sex.
But she likes me plenty.
Likes you when?
If something bad's happened and she's upset, she'll often come to me for comfort and solace.
Like when she's had a fight with her boyfriend. If someone wants to keep it casual, they're not going to officially label it casual.
There's nothing less casual than the keep it casual conversation.
Right. If you actually want to keep it casual, you're not going to talk about it.
Later, after coming back and seeing Abby upset about what happened with Connor, she decides to have sex with him, and of course the nice guy that Nick is doesn't tell her that he literally just had his tongue shoved up another woman's. Well, you know, this is like the best day for Nick. Raquel decides to celebrate with drinks after finding out that Gary's going to finance the film. Later in the pool, drunk and elated, Gary comes by noticing Raquel with alcohol and realizes that he can't be around her. She begs him not to leave, but he drives off. And then she later goes to a meeting and monologues about how she pushes people away whenever they get close.
I've been pretty successful at keeping anyone who cares about me about as far away as possible, pretty much my entire life. I've become quite good at finding ways to hurt them. I guess is safer or something, I don't know. I think I may have just destroyed the first real relationship of my life. And I guess I also just lost a movie, but I'm having trouble caring about that. I haven't been sober for 24 hours. But I'd really like to get that chip, I think.
It's clear that Raquel is desperate and still willing to use this man's sympathy to get what she wants, but there has to be at least a little bit of sincerity here. I mean, I know she's an actress and she planned on using him, but the emotions feel pretty raw in this scene for it all to just be an act. Like, she definitely had to tap into something real there. She walks out after giving him the necklace, while waiting for him outside, planning for him to chase after her so she could be comforted by him.
Raquel.
I'm just gonna ruin everything for both of us.
Don't say goodbye.
I love you.
I love you too.
While they're having sex, he tells her that he loves her, and you can clearly see that she feels the weight of her own guilt and what she's done to this man for her own selfish gain. Tariq gets Abby to sing backup, and Caldrick's clearly not happy about this.
Damn, all right. Nobody called dibs on that yet?
No, man, this is Tariq's girl.
Tariq's girl.
A girl like you with a voice like that don't need to be messing with no little boy. You need yourself a real man.
Not there is the only real man I've been with. You all could learn a thing or two.
I like her.
He later threatens Abby in the bathroom.
Sorry, am I in the wrong room?
If I so much as hear a whisper about some little bitch spreading lies about Caldrick King, that little bitch is gonna spend the most painful 24 hours of her damn life before she disappears. Yeah. You feel me?
And then she leaves upset when Tariq tries to find out what's wrong. Clearly, we're starting to see the signs of an abusive relationship at play with Caldrick's toxic possessiveness over Tariq, who is starting to see how abusive and toxic Caldrick actually is.
A little friend followed me to the bathroom. Asked what she can do to make sure she makes the cut, but she could blow me. Got cold feet or something. Little bitch ran out crying. Now, I know you're upset, but you should see how my dick feels. I quit. I go to prison for a year. All of a sudden, everybody got feelings.
He's someone that would threaten one of his friends just to make sure no one else can have him. When he decides to quit, Caldrick chases after him, and things get physical when Caldrick refuses to let Tariq leave.
Because I told her I'd put her ass in the ground.
You can't threaten my friend.
But don't make me! You broke the rules when you ran your damn mouth.
I'm sick of your rules.
You thought I was just going to talk to your little friends?
Do you love me?
Keep your voice down, Tariq.
Do you love me?
I'm not gonna say it again.
Do you love me? Do you? Stop! Get off me!
Even though Caldrick loves Tariq, he doesn't know how to love the right way, and because of this, he uses intimidation and fear to keep Tariq close to him.
Keep your damn voice down. I love you. This is my life. Why'd you bring that girl here in the first place? So Dynasty can see that you're a real man. We're exactly the same.
You're all hate.
Stay away from you, stay away from my friends. Oh, Tariq.
Listen to the reason that Caldrick gives for why Tariq asks Abby to come record for the track. He projects his own feelings of inadequacy with his masculinity onto Tariq. Caldrick believes that he has to live his life this way because he's a rapper, because he has a reputation, because of the way he grew up, because he's a black man, and because he associates being gay with the opposite of masculinity, and uses that as a justification for the reason things have to be the way they are, when it's really him not wanting to confront the truth about his own self-hatred. Alicia starts to feel conflicted with how she got her money, when she has a hard time explaining what her job is. Later she gets uncomfortable when she meets her film partner and decides she wants to quit. As she's packing her bag, she gets confronted by a female director, clearly buttering her up and trying to get her to stay by saying and doing whatever to make Alicia feel comfortable and safe.
You are obviously a beautiful, sexy young woman with a good head on her shoulders. And I'd be lying to you if I said they didn't all see dollar signs when they look at you. Nobody's gonna force you to do something you don't want to do. You'll have more control here than you'll ever get in mainstream Hollywood. And you'll probably have to sleep with fewer people. Hang around for the day, you know? Get a feel for the place. You don't have to shoot anything. Or you can leave right now.
She also made her to make Alicia feel unsure about her decision, convincing her that she'll have an easier time becoming a dancer if she stays and works with them. Alicia is treated with kindness by everyone, and even agrees to have sex with a woman on her first day. She even gets offered the opportunity to audition for a music video. Episode 6 starts off with Connor being rushed into the ER. When he speaks to a doctor, he asks him to prescribe him Zoloft, an antidepressant that I imagine were the pills he gave to Nick earlier in the season. He later finds out that he isn't being written out of the show, and they're just using his incident and writing it into the script. It's kind of crazy that they care more about that than how he's actually doing.
Next episode, Patrick's gonna get into a massive car accident and he becomes a patient in his own critical unit. Are you kidding me? This stuff writes itself. You know how much press the show's gotten out of this? You're on Deadline, TMZ, dude. People are gonna wanna watch the show just to see what we do with you.
While talking to Abby at the coffee shop, Sabrina runs into them, and she's clearly pissed off that he's with Abby.
I'll probably be there around 7. Like to keep it casual.
Okay, well, goodbye now.
Who is she, though?
I know her from the comedies.
The one thing I hate the most about dramas is when they introduce a character for a petty romance drama like this. Sabrina gives off the I'm not like the other girls vibe to the max, and it can get very irritating. These types of characters irritate me when they're so easily able to get along with the guys. They're weirdly forward and are just so cool and funny, make the first move and everything. Not that I'm throwing shade to girls like this, I'm just saying that this type of depiction of a girl to me just doesn't feel real.
Does that mean I can call you my boyfriend now? What? You are so green. Why do I like that? What fetish is that?
And feels more like a character conjured up for conflict, which is obviously what she is. She's irritated with this guy that she literally just met, who already explained that he's got something going on with this other person. She's acting like he made a promise to her or something. I know that she's clearly into him or whatever, but she just gets a little too irritating sometimes, especially as the episodes go on. Thankfully, it doesn't go on too long and they actually go in a different direction than I expect, so it's not the worst thing ever. She also gives off Zoe Deschanel vibes for some reason to me. Nick later drives Abby to her audition and then gets the genius idea to tell her about Sabrina and the fact that he slept with her hours before sleeping with Abby.
Yeah, well, I saw her in the afternoon and then I
Oh my God!
We were still keeping it casual, remember?
So you banged some chick and then you came to our apartment?
No, I showered first.
Don't tell me men are nice. This is men!
Ends up ruining her audition when she can't focus and starts bitching about her problems.
My idiot boyfriend just told me he slept with another girl, so I'm not gonna be so great today. This town is full of people that like you to your face and forget you to your back. No one is on your side here. Everyone is against you. Whose feet I have to kiss just to get to the next room and the next room and the next room. I've been in 8 rooms before this one.
She later decides to leave LA because of this without even really talking to Nick, I guess. But she gets called and somehow she got the part and decides to stay, so great for Abby. Nick ends up performing and using his James DeFranco joke for what I imagine is like the 100th time at this point, since the audience doesn't really seem to respond lively to it anymore. And after looking at Sabrina, he thinks of the conversation they had about casual relationships.
You know what's actually not casual in any way, shape, or form? Having a conversation about keeping it casual. Don't have a formal talk about the casualness of things. That doesn't make any sense.
He ends up winning over the audience and then finds out that Sabrina was going to use that as her bit, and this starts a rivalry between the two.
I've been doing that bit for 6 months. You didn't do it right. You messed up all the wording and I was gonna open with it. I really needed this. I'm gonna burn your life down.
Alicia is stumbling in from a night out, only for her to remember that she had an audition. She races to make it and gets lectured by Nick, who doesn't support her new job.
Why don't you just come back to the Lux and we can talk?
And I don't have time to make you feel good about my decisions.
Once she gets there, she realizes she missed the audition, and then goes to the guy that got her the audition in the first place, and starts making more demands. The guy then tells her how it is, saying that she can't be desperate and have convictions at the same time.
I get it, you're a hard worker. The city trades desperation. Nobody cares how hard you've worked or how much you've bled. You can't be desperate and proud.
While walking out, she sees a girl with her feet all bloodied up, and this probably reminds her of herself when she first started, and she goes back into the office and starts kissing the guy. Later, she gets a call offering her a spot on the Usher tour. We see how Alicia realizes that everything she did, sacrificing her values, was for nothing, since she ended up getting what she wanted from the hard work she put in during auditions. Unfortunately, we don't really get to see how Alicia deals with the weight of that, because her character leaves and she basically becomes non-existent. Caldra comes to the Lux looking for Abby and apologizes to her for threatening her.
I was out of line yesterday, but you scared me. And I do stupid stuff when I'm scared.
I scared you?
I acted foolishly, and I'm ashamed of my behavior. But if you ever want to come back in and finish laying down that backing track, that's cool with me. I would like that.
Tariq overhears them and invites him into his room, where he apologizes for making things harder.
Tariq, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I can't live the life I want to live. I'm sorry I gotta hide and duck behind doors, and I'm sorry I lost you. I know I keep making things harder than they have to be, but give me a chance.
It still doesn't excuse how he treated Tariq. Things seem to be going well for the two, and they're even making plans for their future.
You gave me something to write about. Thank you for that. But I know I want you with me. I want to build a photo album like those old folks had. Build a life, just us.
When they think they're alone, Tariq and Caldric are caught kissing.
There you go.
What are you doing?
Please don't. Cal, don't, please. Cal.
Cal, stop! I'm gonna kill you! Get off me! Get off me!
It's a pretty hard scene to watch because you see how hard he's hitting Tariq, and then he's just dragged out, seeing him fighting the other guys as he's being dragged away, and Tariq lays on the ground. The future doesn't look as bright as it did literally a minute ago. Raquel realizes that Cam and Kevin are looking elsewhere for a lead for their film, unless she gets them $100,000 from Gary. She eventually convinces him to do it through manipulation, even though she sees how hesitant he is to write a check for that much.
I will take your lives if you take advantage of this man, and I will get away with it.
She later decides to return the check because she feels guilty for using him. She also seems to have feelings for him to some degree, but she's also afraid of those feelings and doesn't trust getting close to someone.
You still have a hole in you, just like me, and you're trying to fill it with work and God knows what else, and you must be so tired.
Please just take it back.
I don't want it back. Don't leave.
I can't stay.
Just hang on. I don't care how it started. Please don't.
She also feels like she doesn't deserve him because she treated him so badly.
The only reason you started talking to me is because you wanted my money. I was lonely, so I figured, why not? That's what it was. But I don't think that's what it is now. Am I wrong? Well, that's why you're back here with the check, because you feel it too.
No, I don't.
You lie. I know you, Raquel.
You don't. I'm not even an alcoholic. I just went to those meetings to network.
He admits that he knew she was using him and is confident that her feelings are different than they were initially, but she fights against him and ends up leaving, and goes to visit Connor at the hospital.
Doctor said I'm gonna be pretty as ever.
And by pretty, do you mean dumb? You okay?
You?
No.
How come we're not good together?
Who says that?
We do.
Right.
It seems that it's always him that she goes back to for comfort eventually. The episode ends with Nick and Abby getting back together, Connor burns his house down, and we find out that Raquel is pregnant. For the first 6 episodes, there's a lot of potential here, from character performance to potential character development down the line. There are a few things that I have noticed that might be holding the show back. First, certain characters, although I know what they're trying to do, don't really stand out as much. Alicia, for example, although gets focus in the first 6 episodes of the show, is written out by the beginning of the 2nd season, so it feels like time was kind of wasted focusing on her character that could have gone elsewhere, and we didn't really get time to watch grow or develop that much anyway, and because of that, she also doesn't feel as interesting of a character as she could have with maybe 6 more episodes of the season. But because the season was limited to 6 episodes and then they got picked up for another 13, we didn't really get to see much time with her to get more invested in the character. I think that sometimes an episode can feel like it's juggling too much with all the subplots. When this happens, sometimes it can feel hard to balance all of the characters. Sometimes there isn't enough time to focus on their individual conflicts because of that. Some of you may also think that the way the characters cope with their issues can seem melodramatic and possibly stereotypical at points, like sleeping around for comfort or drinking to cope with your unhappiness. But that also adds to the intrigue for me. I mean, it's why we watch shows like this, right? The emotions can be very powerful, and watching a character self self-destruct can be relatable to us, even if it's not 100% grounded at times. The pacing is a little fast for everything it's developing within the first season, which like I said is only 6 episodes. There are some interesting plot points, but because everything happens a little fast at times, it feels a little hard to really get into the character they're trying to develop. Like if we got to see Raquel and Gary's relationship develop for a few more episodes before all of this happened, then I think I'd feel it more from both ends. But because they got together so fast and we didn't really get to see too much development there, I don't feel as invested when Raquel eventually decides to leave Gary. Sometimes it's hard to balance the development of the character with the emotional beats, and because of this, sometimes the emotional scenes aren't felt as much as they would be if the character was a little bit more fully developed. It's unfair to fully blame the show for this because they didn't have another 6 episodes of the season to work with like other shows usually get. There are problems that also need to be addressed as far as Caldrick's depiction so far. We immediately see how aggressive and violent Caldrick is, and he quickly enters a relationship with Tariq, who clearly isn't prepared for what he's going to be dealing with. The show starts to make us feel like Tariq was going to be the main character, with just as much focus as the other characters, but he's mainly used as a prop to elevate the Caldrick storyline. We start off seeing how inadequate Tariq feels being an intern, and then he gets the opportunity to produce a track with Caldrick, and from there it becomes mostly about their relationship and then eventually just about Caldrick's character, which again is fine because we should be getting more focus on Caldrick, but the problem is Tariq gets no focus after this. I have to say though, I do like how the show doesn't start off telling us that Tariq or Caldrick are gay until the end of episode 2. However, you do get vibes throughout the episode that something more is going on. I think it's an interesting approach, even if it might have been used to reel in more people to watch the show, because clearly the audience wasn't expecting it. Usually if a character is gay, the audience finds out about it right away, which is why I like that it subverts you in a way. I just like that they don't also focus on other things now outside of that, especially when it comes to Tariq. Caldrick is a different story, we'll get to him. I also like this approach because it introduces us to the characters first before introducing us to their sexuality. However, after this, the show focuses on how Tariq and Caldrick can only be together under specific circumstances, which means hiding their relationship, and the main conflict basically just becomes that. Caldrick is also very abrasive and aggressive. You can see that Tariq is intimidated and afraid of him at times. I'm not against the depiction of Caldrick in this way inherently. I just fear that Caldrick being depicted this way in the beginning, especially toward his partner, could possibly create an unconscious bias of black men being inherently more violent. At points, it's clear that it's an abusive relationship, and it seems that the show is aware of this because after Caldrick is caught with Tariq, he pushes him off and beats him. There's also a power imbalance in both size and status between Caldrick and Tariq. Caldrick is popular, he's a rapper, a celebrity, and Tariq was just an intern. Caldrick holds all the power over Tariq in every way, affecting his job at points. Tariq also wants nothing to do with Caldrick after this and even leaves LA because of it. The problem I have with this is that it falls into that narrative of prioritizing the abuser over the abused. Tariq's story is cut short in order to focus on Caldrick's self-discovery, so in a way it can almost make audiences overwrite what he did to Tariq, especially since Tariq's character isn't on the show. We don't really get to see how this relationship impacted Tariq. We get a few moments here and there, but it is from Caldrick's perspective from here on out, and we get a really powerful interaction between the two. Tariq crying to Abby about how he can't talk about what happened is also very well done, but that's it. Tariq's story is just finished. We don't get to see that recovery on his end either, especially since he had to give up his dreams of music because he became too afraid to stay in LA. I just think that they missed an opportunity to develop Tariq's character more. It also sucks that the other black character on the show gets cut when the cast is predominantly white as it is. I understand what the writers were intending to do with this storyline. It's really being used to elevate Caldrick's character development, showing how Caldrick used violence against Tariq, someone that he loves, because of his own hatred. It also would have been a better decision to maybe go in a different route. I think that they should have given Tariq equal voice in the narrative to show how the victim copes with the abuse and trauma and how they move on from that. At least then we'd be focusing on both characters instead of one character feeling sacrificed for the other. It's not that Caldrick forgets about Tariq or the show doesn't bring him up or that he doesn't play a role in some way. It's just his character just becomes more of a plot device than him being a character anymore. It's unfortunate because Tariq's character gets cut before he really gets to become a character at all. With that being said, I also think there's a lot of merit to Caldrick's storyline, although flawed in execution. The focus after Tariq leaves shifts to Caldrick and the lingering guilt and self-hatred he has. If you can move past that point and are willing to see someone change for the better, I think this is one of the more worthwhile and fleshed out storylines on the show. I would even go further to say that it was a pretty refreshing progression of character. Caldrick also falls into this category that I call the self-hating gay, where the character is usually verbally or physically violent as a way to assert that they are straight. This trope I don't think is bad entirely because I think there are things that can be relatable about it, especially for people that have something they hate so much about themselves. There are things to be said about how toxic masculinity intersects with the expectations put on gay men to be masculine. Add race to that and it gets more complicated. Because black men, especially darker black men, are depicted to be violent and aggressive, this also worried me about Caldrick's introduction and his characterization. It does fall into some stereotypes that we've seen before with black men being overly aggressive and hostile, as well as the self-hating gay tropes of becoming violent with the one you love because you hate yourself. At the same time, there are men that are violent too. Are we not supposed to show those types of men just because they're black? It's a tough position to be in because you don't want to cross this line and just be depicting a stereotype of a group of people, but with the right type of attention to characterization, I think there's a way to balance that. In media, because the character struggles with internalized homophobia, the abuse they inflict can sometimes be forgiven by audiences. In this case, it's a little different since the entire focus of Caldrick's storyline is centered around his overuse of violence and how he learns that violence is unhealthy in dealing with your issues. The first season of the show focuses on Caldrick's insecurities and how he uses violence to cope with that and how he justifies his violence, while the second season focuses on the repercussions of what he did to Tariq and his guilt and anger because of it. Some who are tired of this trope of the violent gay man will definitely not be a fan of Caldrick's characterization early on. However, if you're down for the ride of self-discovery, redemption, and self-reflection, then Caldrick's journey might interest you more than you think. I haven't mentioned it because it's not really important at all, but there are moments in the show where they show shots of the bands playing music by the poolside or where they're having a party, and I think it gives a little bit more of an authentic feel to the environment. I'm also a huge indie fan, so there were definitely some good songs from this, if that's the type of vibe you're into. For all its shortcomings so far, I think that season 2 is a lot better paced overall and does more to explore the characters and their motivations or their self-destructive behaviors. This is also because they have 13 episodes to work with, which is the standard amount of episodes a drama gets for a season nowadays. Not all the plot lines are good, and definitely feel like they're there to fill time, and we'll get to them when we get there. Episode 1 picks up where the last episode left off. Connor is out on his lawn drinking a beer as his house catches on fire. Alicia's going on tour, so her room is now vacant. Nick gets an interview for a job in a writer's room for a late-night talk show, and then finds out Sabrina is also trying to get the same job. She's out to get him, even though Nick wants to forgive and forget, she doesn't want to. She gets in his head right before his interview.
You've been working on the same 5 minutes of stand-up for months, and even then you had to steal a bit from me just to make it work.
Are you lying that
You can be funny every day.
You're trying to get in my head?
Yeah,
What?
and it's working. You're too sensitive. You don't perform well under pressure. They're gonna eat you alive. Knock 'em dead, sweetheart.
And then Nick learns that Paul is the showrunner. He clearly doesn't like Nick, like we've established before.
No, I meant the other guy, the funny guy. This is the Canadian plastic bags kid.
I did that bit one time.
Judging by your subtle body language and the continued presence of this young man, I'm gonna say not so good.
Hey, Paul, good to see you again.
Weirdly enough, I don't hate it. I kind of hate the person who said it.
Why do you hate
But I don't hate it.
He asks Nick to give him something to consider before hiring him, and this is what he comes up with.
Sabrina, I'm good in bed, right?
Sure. If you can get over the crying, the erectile dysfunction, and the it's so childish it's creepy pillow talk, he's still an impossibly lousy life. Then there's the endless needy text. What are you doing? Where are you?
And that's the healthiest relationship I've ever had.
It's actually pretty funny. He finds out later that both he and Sabrina got offered the job together because they like the banter between the two, so now he'll be working with her. Abby finds out the movie role she got in the last episode is on hold, but she gets an audition for another role as a missionary, a woman married to God. This show is a religious one, and Abby shows up dressed clearly not for that type of role.
Filipinos, 413.
It's Philippians, not Filipinos. You're dressed like a prostitute.
You guys are actually making a positive change in this world. I wanted to be a part of that, part of God's work.
Amen.
Thanks for the opportunity.
She ends up blowing the audition and goes back to the Lux, where she offers to be the cleaning lady for Eddie, who ends up underpaying her when he said that she'd be paid $25 an hour, but because she didn't do it as quick as he wanted, he only gave her $50, which is pretty fucking scummy. Even though she bombed her previous audition, they later offer her a role as a promiscuous character. She's also clearly attracted to one of the main actors right away, so we already know where this is going. We also get introduced to two new characters, Beth and Simon, two siblings that are living on their own, struggling to get by. We see that they're on set for a commercial where Simon is playing one of the background kids. Beth is also protective over Simon and acts like his mother.
Beth, look! It's not for us. But I'm hungry though. No, get over it. Or they charge $5 for those muffins?
No, this is free. No one's keeping track, really. Help yourself.
Simon, you have my permission.
It will become clear why she treats him this way as we go on. One of the kids has an allergy to dairy, and his mother is pushing him to eat it so they can keep the role.
I get paid just to run around and play.
I get to sit over there and get told what to do.
Beth, we're making money.
Which is pretty messed up, that she's willing to put her child through pain just so she can keep a role in a commercial.
I can't eat dairy, I'm allergic. It's an intolerance, not an allergy. He can eat it. He'll be fine. Honey, we talked about this. It makes me really sick.
Maybe this is something you could have mentioned before we hired him.
The things that these parents will allow their kids to do is crazy. Simon ends up getting the role instead. Beth negotiates with the director. I didn't even bother learning his name. I just see him as that director that Eli worked with on Degrassi, Brett Barnett or something. He's basically the same character anyway. She gets him to triple the amount that they were going to pay Simon. We also learn that it was Simon that answered an ad for the role, so it seems that he wants to be an actor to a certain extent, or he's doing it because he knows that he can help bring in money. Beth is also clearly opinionated and pushy. Brett Barnett gives her his card and says if they're ever in town to look him up. They also get a ride later where they're dropped off at a parking lot, and it becomes clear what their situation is, living in their car, having to clean themselves up in department stores. Right away we understand how much weight is put on Beth's shoulders as she tries to take care of herself and her younger brother without any help or guidance. Raquel is preparing to tell Connor that she's pregnant. He shows up at her room and asks if he can stay with her because his house burned down. He clearly has money to stay at a hotel, a better one, but he's looking for an excuse to stay with her because he doesn't want to be alone. I have to say, I totally thought the show was going in a different direction in the beginning. I thought Connor and Abby would have more of this will they won't they thing, and it would be like a love triangle with Nick, but they did show early on that Connor does have chemistry with Raquel, and he's the one that she goes to for comfort. There are also moments that you see that Raquel wants something real with someone.
I said a few things about us. Maybe I wouldn't have said if I hadn't had all the drinks.
I'm not gonna hold you to it.
Well, see, that's just a thing. Now that it's morning and I'm sober,
I get it.
I don't feel any different. I still want to be your boyfriend, if you still want me to be.
I do. Can you say that one more time?
Eat your breakfast.
Like when she doesn't want to spend the day drinking in a cheap motel room with Connor. She wants to do something fun, and she tries to get to know him more. After talking about a camping trip she went on with her family.
When we were kids, my dad used to make us go camping in Algonquin. Hikes, burnt hot dogs, warm soda pop. I wanted to shoot myself.
That doesn't sound so bad.
You never talk about your family.
She asks if Connor ever went camping with his father, and he says,
Not really anything to talk about. It's pretty much just me and my dad.
Did he ever take you camping?
Once. He drove a 10-spike through my hand.
By accident?
Well, that depends on who you ask.
This is the guy who raised you?
He told me everything I know. Look, are we done here? Can we just go back to the Lux and drink?
Raquel is clearly shocked by this because she didn't know that his home life was like that. Connor notices her sympathy and then decides to change the subject since he doesn't want to dig any deeper into his past. While walking around LA, they get approached by this woman promoting
Dianetics. It's a system designed to relieve psychosomatic disorders by cleansing the mind of any harmful mental images.
What kind of mental images?
Things from your past, the way you see yourself, anything that's holding you back.
I just want to hear what you had to say. It sounded interesting. I think I can get that book online.
This seems to appeal to Connor to a certain degree, but Raquel is put off by it. Now that Raquel is put off by something like exploring her feelings of inadequacy that might stem from her past, she's ready to go back to the Lux and drink. You start to notice how Connor and Raquel respond to these feelings they have, both avoidant in their own way. However, Connor's definitely more willing than Raquel, who is deathly afraid of exploring herself and her shortcomings. Later, Connor asks Raquel to marry him, since he's convinced that they're such a good match for each other, when clearly they both have a lot of emotional hang-ups that's only going to make this relationship a disaster. Raquel even asks,
Why do you want to be with me?
Beautiful, you're smart, independent. You have a great ass.
Oh, that's hot.
Shut up, okay? We're good together and you know it. So if I say that you're my girlfriend, you're my girlfriend. Got it?
Got it.
revealing how lowly she thinks of herself, and we've already seen that she doesn't believe she deserves someone who loves her, since she thinks that she'll only ruin their lives. Also, Connor asking her to marry him so soon just reveals how desperate he is to create something more permanent with Raquel, something that she can't easily walk away from. He wants someone he can come home to and be with.
You're all I have here.
That's not true.
Fine, don't marry me. Take it one step at a time. Be my girlfriend.
but he doesn't want to confront why he feels so inadequate without someone by his side. And because of that, he's willing to rush into something that he's not emotionally ready for. Caldrick is facing the legal repercussions of his actions. We're also introduced to his friend Rook, who's going back and forth with his lawyer, defending him, saying he was threatened, and his friend's justifying his actions because he believes Tariq is to blame. We also get an understanding of why Caldrick hasn't come out, especially when he hears the way his friend talks about Tariq.
You felt your life was being threatened, is that it?
A little queer tried to kiss him. What do you expect was gonna happen? Well, you provoke a wild dog, you gonna get bit.
He's a public figure with a criminal record who is currently out on parole in the state of California.
It's not like the kid is dead.
It's also clear that physical violence is how things are settled and taken care of, which is what his friend suggests as a solution.
So we find him first. We make sure he knows what happens to people when they talk. Me and Cal have been friends our whole lives and been through a hell of a lot worse. So I think I know how to make our little problem go away.
What are you going to do to this kid that you haven't already done? Don't answer that.
You can complicate things for yourself.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna take care of it.
Caldrick, feeling guilty for what he did to Tariq, says he'll go and find him. He later checks the Lux and doesn't find him there, but reflects back on the last time they were in the room together. Dee also comes by his place and tells him that they have security cameras and that he better make it right by Tariq. Later, they're all in the room together. Tariq tells them that he just wants a ticket home to Montreal and nothing else. You also see how he treats Tariq in front of everyone else.
Hey, if he wants to leave, then let him go. You done here?
Like he's just some guy he beat up, throwing money at him like he doesn't matter. After everyone leaves the room, Caldrick apologizes to Tariq, who doesn't want to hear it. We also see how deeply this will affect Tariq going forward. How much fear he'll feel for anybody he gets close to. How he'll be afraid to get close to a man because he won't know if he can trust them.
I do love you. Look at my face. I'm gonna carry this with me for the rest of my life. Anytime I start to feel something for someone, I will always feel this.
Just tell me how to fix it.
I want all of this to never happen. That was easy. I never want to see you again.
We also see Caldrick in tears, knowing that he's lost the first person he's ever made a genuine connection with. I get the feeling that Caldrick has never really been able to have a relationship with another man in a serious way. He's never really been able to talk to anyone about being gay. He's just had to really stuff it down. And now he's facing the repercussions of his actions and self-hatred. As the storyline goes on, there are things that surprised me, things that did upset me, and things that I thought were well written. Later, we see Caldrick stumbling in with two girls, clearly drunk. He goes into the bathroom and the episode ends like this.
Do something. Do something. Do something.
Which was definitely not expected. Episode 2 starts with Beth and Simon arriving in LA. While looking for a room at the Lux, we learn that Beth is pretty handy knowing something about electrical wiring. She ends up making a deal with Eddie. If she fixes the wiring in the room, then she can have it. Since they're in LA, they decide to go visit Brett Barnett, but he was clearly only being nice. And also there's this.
So are you gonna help us or not?
I give you my card because I was hitting on you.
I'm 18.
Yeah, I don't really. Look, I'm not in a position to help you. I'm sorry.
Don't tell me men are nice. This is man!
He gives her a flyer for an agency, but other than that, he doesn't really give a shit. After talking with a woman from the agency, Beth learns how expensive it's going to be. They have to pay for headshots and acting classes. While in the bathroom alone, she decides to call her father, hoping that he's still coming for them.
Simon's kinda trying to be an actor now. He's actually not bad. I don't know if you've found a job out there yet or not, but I could really use your help, Dad, so
She's desperate and doesn't have the money. When she leaves the bathroom, she notices that Simon is gone. He's down by the pool with Cam and Kevin and some other girl. She immediately freaks out, but Cam and Kevin offer to do his headshot.
Simon, what are you doing? Simon, get away from them. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Sorry.
You told a stranger your name?
No.
Cam says they could do my headshot for free.
I mean, only if you want us to.
Sorry.
We see in this moment how afraid Beth is to even let Simon out of her sight, and she doesn't trust anyone. She doesn't like asking for help. She wants to keep to herself and do everything alone, which I'm sure a lot of us to a certain degree can relate to. When you have a hard time relying on anyone when the world has let you down so much, it's such a horrible feeling to put your faith in someone and they break those promises, especially when it's your own parents. Later in bed, Simon begs Beth to let him stay because he wants to be an actor.
You don't leave my sight, ever. It was just Kevin and Cam and Dita. They're nice. Yeah, everyone is nice until they're not. You pull that again and we're gone. This place, it doesn't change us. If I get a bad feeling about anything, we walk.
Beth agrees to this as long as he promises to stay within her sight. She's clearly still cautious and doesn't want to get too comfortable with anything for too long, so you can see how she's already preparing herself to leave. Abby is late for her call time and gets coffee spilled on her when she bumps into Connor, so she goes into work in her bra, which doesn't leave a good second impression. She also learns about the strict rules there and how she's expected to report any misconduct like co-stars sleeping with each other. After a group prayer, Abby is called over because
You can see your nipples through your top? Yeah, Donald doesn't like nipples. Oh my god. Oh, Donald also doesn't like when you take the Lord's name in vain.
Don't worry, I gotta wear them too. My nipples get crazy hard. I'm Brandon, by the way. I play Grace's brother.
she meets her co-star Brandon, who offers to show her around the set later. After some time has passed, Abby goes to look for him, and then she discovers two of her co-workers, who are brother and sister on the show, having sex in one of the dressing rooms.
Brandon?
Yes.
Is now a good time to... Oh, get out! Get out! I'm sorry.
This is Laura, who's with Brandon, and she's very territorial over him.
If you tell Donald or anybody else about Brandon and me, I will slit your throat.
Later, Brandon invites Abby to go to an arcade with them so they can explain their situation.
We've been doing the show for 6 years.
Playing Christian America's favorite brother and sister.
Only somewhere in year 3 we accidentally found love.
No, somewhere during the first read-through, we accidentally found love. Somewhere in year 3, we got the balls to do something about it.
And Abby promises not to say anything, since they would get in trouble with their boss, who they claim is psychopathic. And they're also two siblings on the show, so it probably wouldn't be good if that came out that they were together. Nick tries to call Abby at the arcade, but she has a hard time hearing him, and they don't really get to talk with each other, adding to the distance in their relationship. We also see how his friend responds to the mental health facility that Caldrick is staying at.
Let's get out of here. This place gives me the creeps.
I don't know if that was the intention of these responses, but it makes a lot of sense to me when you look at it through that lens. It also adds a little bit more depth. His friend just tells him to answer no to all the questions the doctor asks him, and while alone, Caldrick is able to answer honestly because he wants help, even if he can't tell anyone that he wants it.
If released, can you imagine ever trying to take your own life again?
Yes.
Do you have access to lethal means?
Yes.
Are you distressed that your attempt to end your life failed?
Yes.
Later in group therapy, Caldrick is afraid to talk and then gets aggressive when someone tries to encourage him. We also see how afraid Caldrick is of being perceived as gay and is so on edge whenever he gets touched by a man.
There's no judgment here.
Don't touch me, man.
Hey.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Guys,
I'm sorry.
Okay. You don't like being touched. Now, we all know that.
We also see that he's like the only black guy in this group too, which is telling. Caldrick also notices a man staring in his direction and gets confrontational when he doesn't know that this man hasn't spoken for years.
The hell you looking at?
Caldrick.
This don't concern you.
It doesn't concern him either. He just stands there day in and day out staring at that same spot on the wall. Look at him. They call him the Abyss. He's harmless. He hasn't spoken in years.
They also have a cruel nickname for him, and I know it's for comedy, possibly, but it's a little odd that the mental health counselor is saying that about him. I don't even know if we ever get this guy's name. Later, Caldrick talks to one of the therapists, and he tries to get him to open up, and even knowing that his therapist has doctor-patient confidentiality, he's still too afraid to talk.
But you need to talk to someone. Otherwise, whatever drove you in here is gonna kill you. It almost did already, right? Just say it out loud. It'll help.
We done?
I hope not.
And you really see by his expressions that he wants to. Later, after Rook comes to discharge him, Caldrick tells him to leave him alone with the man for a minute so he can admit something to himself.
I'm gonna fake it.
Something he's never really probably said or had the confidence to say. Connor receives an offer to play the role of boyfriend for an A-list actress named Jennifer Bell. She says how she'll open doors for him in the acting world. Raquel also encourages him to do it, and you can see how immediately hurt he is when he thinks she's suggesting for him to do this because she doesn't want to be with him.
So you didn't really mean what you said then about wanting to be with me?
Of course I want to be with you.
Well, then why are you trying to...
I don't like it. It's 6 months. That could change your life forever.
But Raquel reassures him that she's encouraging him to do it for his career. We clearly know that she's not going to be okay with this little arrangement for too long. She's also still hiding the fact that she's pregnant, and she's also having a harder time getting roles. She also got an offer for a TV movie, and her ego just can't handle it.
Hack the bear too.
Ugh, no. It's a TV movie about a half bear, half cactus who kills base jumpers.
I also got you in to read for that feature you've been bugging me about.
I'm perfect for the lead.
Well, they don't see you that way. Nice, relatable, warm.
Hey, I am plenty warm.
Raquel is desperate to hang on to the type of role she's used to playing and can't let go of that past.
I know a guy who teaches a class.
You did not just say that to me.
It's about learning how you're perceived and using it. You can bitch to me or you can do something about it. But we're running out of casting directors.
Her agent suggests that she go to a class to learn how she's perceived by others, which is pretty entertaining.
I also see a defense attorney, young doctor maybe. What else?
Porn star.
Porn star.
It's so easy for her to hurl the insults when she's not sitting in the chair. She can dish it out, but she can't take it.
She could definitely play a bitch.
Anger.
Tough.
She's scary.
Calculating. Jaded. Guarded. Cynical. Cold.
What the hell do you know? If you're so smart, how come I've never seen you in anything? Working actress. That's what people see when I walk into a room.
It just shows how she's so insecure with herself that she just can't accept that other people are intimidated by her. And maybe she could use this as a way to get different roles, but her ego is so bruised that she won't even allow herself to consider it. In a desperate attempt to prove to herself herself that she can still get those roles. She goes to an audition for a plucky role with a blonde wig and clearly older than the other girls, only to later take the job with the TV movie she turned down. Sabrina is still mad at Nick, but you also see how she doesn't completely hate him. She still gives him advice and encourages him to be more confident and outgoing.
Let me just say something. Laughing and listening sounds is not contributing. You say you're a shark, well, sharks need to swim or they will not be asked back next season.
Waiting for the right moment.
The right moment is always now. No, stop it. Nobody eats Danishes. Danishes make you look stupid.
As much as she can annoy me at times, there are moments where I do like her character and how she challenges Nick. Plus, they have way better chemistry than Nick and Abby. After pitching an idea that was kind of okay, Nick and Sabrina start flirting some more with each other, and she misreads the situation and kisses him. And then he tells her he's with Abby, and she's clearly upset by this. On top of that, they end up finding out that they're going to have to be competing for the job since they can only afford one of them. So back to the rivalry. Episode 3 starts with Caldrick doing a Q&A, and he's reminded of Tariq and the guilt he still holds. Also, I didn't say it before, but the song with Abby's voice on the backtrack is actually really good, and I noticed in the credits for the song that the actor, Andra Fuller, also contributed to the lyrics, so I appreciate that aspect. Later during a radio show, he gets dissed by a guy named Infinite Jest.
I'm supposed to come back to somebody I never heard of. Where's this kid again? The internet?
So Jess ain't no joke. He's crazy, man.
Yo, whatever, man. If this little dude wanna throw rocks at the throne, have him call my label. I think we got some openings in the mailroom.
He then gets preached to about change, and even though he makes jokes to brush it off,
Redemption?
Do you believe in second chances? Do you believe in change?
What kind of change we talking, man? 5s? 10s? Yo, Rook, throw my wallet.
If you ever change your mind, the 19th Street mission is always there for you.
you can tell that the words get to him. Later, he has a hard time in the studio, still being weighed down by his guilt, just wanting to avoid everyone. Back at his place, there's a party going on, a woman is eyeing him, but he's clearly not really into it. This lifestyle that he was so used to isn't doing anything for him anymore. Infinite ends up showing up at his party, trying to humiliate him, and I'm sorry, but what is this outfit? He challenges him to a rap battle for his title.
So here's a shout out to the sellout with no clout who really trying to act like the streets are what he's still about.
And gets wiped to the floor with, which is pretty embarrassing for him.
Get the teeth fixed, look like you've been chewing on bricks. And say it with your chest cause you sound like a chick. How you supposed to get a record deal with bubblegum wraps and breath smelling like Infamil? Yeah, I would've said breast milk with just a virgin. He don't know how breasts feel.
The kid then swings a punch at him, and Rook starts punching him over and over, reminding him of what he did to Tariq.
Trying to act tough, got smacked up, kid, get your stats up. Body don't care. Snap, Rook. Chill. Look, chill.
And he's able to see what his violent behavior looks like in front of him after something like that. This is also where he realizes he doesn't want to respond with violence, and I think he really needed to see that in front of him, especially after doing that to someone that he loved. Rook then checks on Caldrick in the bathroom and justifies what he did to Infinite earlier.
You know how to get at that Infinite kid, right? Otherwise,
I know.
Caldrick then convinces him that he'll be fine in the bathroom alone. After giving him 2 minutes alone, he realizes that Caldrick left out the window. While walking around, Caldrick walks past a gay sex worker who asks for a few dollars. After Caldrick doesn't respond to him initially, it's Caldrick's response to him that made me more intrigued with his character.
How about a few bucks then?
After this, he eventually tracks down where his father is. Beth goes back to the agency where their headshots are rejected, and then she gets defensive and hot-headed. The woman gets angry and decides to just let them go. She realizes that she blew it for both of them.
Between this and these is that you don't make $600 off of ours. Do you want to know the difference? Those kids are represented by this agency. This one never will be.
We're really, really sorry.
Simon, come on.
Back at the Lux, she gets help from Cam, who explains to her that casting agents usually send out a breakdown of physical attributes and talents they're looking for, but usually only to agents. However, there's websites that post it illegally for $15 or so a month. When Beth says she doesn't have a credit card, Cam of course offers to pay for her, clearly establishing that he's attracted to her. Later, Beth pulls a stunt to get Simon an audition. When the receptionist doesn't buy it,
The lady's not gonna let you in. I worked so hard.
Just give him 2 minutes. There's nothing I can do.
she pretends to be the casting agent and calls the receptionist at the desk and basically roasts her entire existence.
That's why I'm sitting at my desk in Beverly Hills and you're working reception in Burbank. If I wasn't so busy today, I would come down there and...
Our intern must have made a mistake.
Don't blame your screw-ups on someone else. Told a lie. Told a bunch of lies.
You're welcome.
Beth finds out that Simon didn't get the role, and she learns that she's basically going to have to do this full time. And you can see how she didn't realize how much work it would be to find Simon acting roles while also making money to provide for him. Simon already seemed prepared for this by his nonchalant attitude toward not getting the role.
I think this is just how it all works, Beth. We gotta go on a lot of these things before I book something.
What, like this is gonna be like a full-time job?
Yeah, you didn't realize that?
Cam and Kevin stop by with extra Chinese food, which is a nice moment for Beth to see that not everyone is a bad person, and there are people that she can rely on. Nick tries to talk to Abby about Sabrina, but she's running late and doesn't really want to get into any of it. Sabrina is back to being pissed with Nick, pranking him and just making his work more difficult. She keeps making a joke of him in the writer's room.
What the hell is this? Please understand this was a tough decision, but I have to follow my heart. Please accept this letter as my official resignation. First of all, I don't sign my name with a heart over the eye.
It's amazing.
Who sprinkles glitter on the resignation letter? Fun and games, right?
Hard feelings, Nick. Hard feelings.
Abby starts liking her coworker almost immediately and is charmed by everything he says when she doesn't even know him that well. He also comes off as untrustworthy to me and kind of creepy with the things he just says out loud. During a shoot, Abby kisses Brandon passionately when she's only supposed to give him a light kiss. And clearly Laura is pissed by this.
We gotta take things slow.
I'm so sorry. I'm not used to pretend kissing.
Abby, a word.
After Sabrina sabotages Nick and leaves him in a parking lot,
You know that nothing you do will ever make me quit. So just focus on the work and stop playing these mind games.
Did you order Scott's animal fries? Never mind. I will get them. Scott said it was important.
I don't think so. I'm getting the animal fries. Oh, wait, I don't have my wallet.
Abby calls Nick's phone and Sabrina answers. This clearly worries Abby. Later, Nick and Abby fight when they haven't been able to talk to each other. Nick gets irritated when she starts talking about her day at work, and that's when Abby suggests that she move out since things are going fast. She wants to slow down, and Nick interprets this as a breakup. It then becomes clear to her that she's not having fun in this relationship and decides to leave with her stuff, and they break up altogether. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really expect it to go in this direction. I thought it was going to get more annoying with the love triangle stuff, so I was surprised. Connor ends up getting Raquel a role on his show. When there are some revisions, we get to see Raquel's reaction to Connor when he starts to worry about memorizing all of the rewrites in such a short amount of time.
Revisions, this is a whole rewrite.
Hey, they can't front light a mug like yours. We'll have plenty of time. We'll just run it until we have it, okay?
Yeah.
Still gonna mop the floor with you.
Your gown's open.
She then reassures him, and these are the moments where you do see how Raquel can be caring and supportive to someone, even though she thinks she has nothing to offer them. Things get worse when Jennifer shows up and starts acting like his girlfriend. Raquel has to watch as she pretends to be just a friend that doesn't know about his arrangement with her. She even gets bothered when she sees how Jennifer knew that it was his birthday.
Have you ever felt anything like it?
Well, he's clearly smitten. Look at him. Your birthday. I didn't know it was your birthday.
Why would you? Okay, so this is from a really healthy bakery. Made with tofu, low-fat buttermilk, and applesauce.
So lucky.
Did you grab a knife?
Yes, I was just about to.
Raquel learns that Jennifer is taking Connor out for his birthday. She ends up going back to the Lux alone. She then sees Abby sleeping outside and asks her if she's okay, so she cares in her own way. After Abby gives her a snappy response, as she goes up the stairs, she collapses due to pain. Abby goes to help her and she says she's fine. When she opens the door, we see that the room is decorated for his birthday. Episode 4 starts with a flashback showing a young Caldric running away from two older guys. When he gets to the front door, he knocks and begs for his father to let him in, and this is how he responds.
Be a man, son. You gotta learn to stand up for yourself.
It comes back to toxic masculinity and being a real man, meaning you don't whine, you fight back, you don't ask for help, and you don't cry. Again, this is an issue for men in general, but with black culture, I've witnessed this firsthand. After waking up at a shelter, Caldric decides to leave, but his father stops him and asks him to have breakfast before he leaves. We also learn that Caldric's real name is Sean. Later, when his father tries to make small talk, you see that Caldric is on the defensive.
I know I made some mistakes.
Mistakes? Is that what you calling them? You didn't make mistakes. You failed, Walter. I don't want you in my life, so stop contacting me. I'm a man now, and I'm doing just fine on my own.
His father explains how he changed and had a lot of time to think about all of the mistakes he made. Caldric also uses the opportunity to call out his father. His father can see that he clearly wants something from him, or else he wouldn't have made the effort to track him down. Later, his father explains that he wants to be able to repair things and move forward, since he can't go back and undo it.
I was a terrible father. I was a terrible man. I had a lot of time to think on that while I was in prison. All the misery I caused. I can't undo it, no matter how much I wish I could. But what I can control is now. I don't expect you to forgive me. Just want a chance to show you I can change.
Caldric seems swayed by his father's words of sincerity. Later, a kid comes up to them and recognizes Caldric and starts rapping some of his lyrics.
I'm the king of the hood, hoes in line for the wood. Don't need no...
All right.
If I get my friend's camera, can I get a picture taken with you?
For sure.
You can tell Caldrick is uncomfortable because he doesn't resonate with those lyrics anymore. He also sees that his father is staying at the shelter and offers for him to stay with him. Raquel is pretending to be on board with the arrangement Connor made with Jennifer. She's also still getting severe cramps, but she's choosing not to address it. Later on set for a movie called Cactubear 2, which just sounds really promising.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Is this my ally?
Yeah, ish.
Severson, no! Those needles are razor sharp like barbed wire, flying faster than bullets. We just need to stay calm, open our wingsuits, and fly on out of here.
You can see that things aren't going well. She also tries to give the director some tips as if it's a real production, and he just calls her out in the most blunt and cruel way possible, and it just made me laugh.
I have 2 weeks and no overtime to shoot this nightmare so I can make enough money to finance the picture I actually want to do. I don't have time to massage your ego. Get over yourself.
We've already seen moments like this before, but I just love how the show was so cruel. Sometimes it feels so over the top that I can actually believe that someone would talk to someone like this in the industry, and it makes me laugh on occasion. I know the point is to show how cruel the industry is, and I think it does add to their struggle when they show how mean and ruthless the world is. Abby explains to Brandon why she smells like chlorine, and we immediately see his motivations when she tells him that she broke up with Nick. It doesn't even really take much from this guy for her to be charmed by him. To me, he just really feels creepy and weird. Like he's looking at her with an agenda and doesn't really like her that much. What else does he really like about her other than her looks? Abby falls into the same trope I see, where she's supposed to be the protagonist of the show, or one of the main leads. That's how it was framed in the beginning. Now we're at a point where she falls behind the other characters. She ends up getting the most shallow plot lines, usually trapped in romance storylines, while the other characters get deeper exploration. Abby isn't the character that you're really watching the show for, even though Cassie was the reason for me checking out the show in the first place. Later, after shooting a scene, Brandon offers to let her stay with him, and I just hate the way he goes about it. It just feels like one of those guys that's used to telling women what to do, and he's used to them just listening to him. I also don't like this joke that he says to her.
Come on, slut.
I know that he thinks that it's funny, but I was not amused. Things seem to be going well back at the apartment until Laura arrives and sees them together.
What the hell is this?
I'm sorry.
Did you make gnocchi without me? Tell me there's some left.
So good, baby.
She seems to be suspicious, but Brandon explains that Abby needs a place to stay, and she seems to be fine with it. Later, we find out the reason why.
All right, so I need a rebound, something fun and sexy.
That's exactly what I need.
Nick finds out that he's falling behind Sabrina in terms of favorability in the writer's room. Later, when he fails to come up with anything comedic, he talks about how pathetic he feels after breaking up with Abby.
Look, man, my girlfriend just broke up with me. I'm clearly losing the race to win this job, and I haven't slept in like 2 days. So, no, I don't actually have any hilarious ideas about the black freaking keys just now.
And gains the sympathy of the guys who decide to take him out for drinks. They later go to a strip club where Sabrina is willing to go above and beyond to impress the guys. In moments like this, I'm conflicted. Characters like Sabrina usually annoy me because of the reasons I've stated, especially with how she messed with Nick because she likes him so much. Like telling the bartender to make Nick's drinks extra strong.
Mesh my beverages?
I didn't mesh with anything.
At the same time, looking at it a little bit more deeply, you do notice that she's the only woman in the room. She's probably used to having to be crass and forward to get ahead and be taken seriously with the other guys, so I won't get too mean with her, but that doesn't mean that her behavior hasn't pissed me off though. Later they decide to go to a brothel, I guess, excluding Sabrina and just leaving her alone, which kind of sucks because you really shouldn't just leave a woman alone at night. Maybe I'm just overlooking it. While out with the other guys, Nick sees how wild Scott is when he snorts a line right in front of him. Beth runs lines with Simon. I've also noticed that Simon only eats things like Pop-Tarts or cereal. You can tell that that's all they can afford. If you've been poor, then you know this lifestyle all too well. Simon even notices that she's not eating, and this is because she's sacrificing meals to make sure that Simon has something to eat. These are moments where we start to understand the character, moments without dialogue that give us information as to the type of character Beth is, someone that would do anything to protect her brother. She'd rather go without than watch her brother go without. Later at an audition, Simon gets along with another kid, and Beth has a hard time keeping her opinions to herself. When she calls out a mother for how she treats her child.
Whiten his teeth, maybe? It sounds crazy, but when we did it for Tyson, it really increased his bookings.
He's a kid, not a dog in a dog show. I'm probably not gonna neuter him. I'm kind of leaning toward just letting him stay a kid.
Tyson, let's go sit down, honey.
At lunch, Simon wants to talk to that kid again, but Beth has a hard time making nice with the mother, who ends up inviting them to have lunch with them.
I just wanted to come over and say I'm sorry for earlier. I was very rude. I wasn't trying to say that your kid was a dog. I was just trying to say that you were treating your kid like a dog.
Beth, don't.
Why don't you both join us? Sure.
They seem to be getting along. She even offers to buy a meal for Beth, who thinks she's made somewhat of a friend in this woman. Later during the audition, she notices that all the other boys are dressed in suits. When the woman told her what Simon was wearing was fine, Beth then threatens her.
As the rest of these kids.
Oh, sometimes life's not fair.
You need to let him borrow that jacket right now. Or else I'll punch you in the face, right in front of all these other mothers. And they'll all go home tonight and tell their husbands over dinner. And the next time they see you, that's all they'll be able to think about.
I also notice what this woman's son says when Beth approaches them.
Tyson, Simon wanted to ask if you want to go over there and play.
He's not mad?
Mad? Why would he be mad?
There's a lot you get from this one reaction. He's probably used to his mother pulling stunts like this to get ahead. He also probably isn't allowed to have a normal childhood, so he probably doesn't have a lot of friends, and has to give a lot of things up. It just makes me sad for child actors. We also see how messed up the industry is, pitting people against each other. The kid ends up offering Simon his jacket, showing how kind he is, more than his mother. An investigator from the insurance company comes to the Lux to question Connor about the house fire. Connor is quick to dodge when details don't line up. He gets closer to Jennifer when Raquel needs him most.
Take me with you. I really need you right now. I know I said it was fine and that it wouldn't bother me, but it bothers me.
Later, they get into a huge fight when she wants him to stay with her, but he has to go to a premiere with Jennifer. Raquel is upset that she doesn't get to be a part of Connor's successes. This is where they start calling each other out.
I don't need anything from you.
Right, sure, like you didn't need me to get you a part of my show? Like you don't need me to tell you everything's gonna be fine every 5 minutes?
This coming from the guy who will find any excuse not to be alone.
I'm really sorry that I put you out.
And things get worse when Connor decides to call it quits.
But this whole needing you thing, like, if I need you, then you need me just as much. That's what makes us so great together. Mutual codependency. Is that you breaking up with me? Because I don't agree to that. Raquel Westbrook does not give up without a fight.
In a last-ditch effort, Raquel drives while drunk to a premiere to get him back, but she ends up in a car crash. Episode 5 starts with Raquel in jail, having to go through all the invading procedures.
Out the shower. Stand here. Squat and cough.
Sorry, what?
Squat and cough.
She looks at herself in the mirror, probably wondering how she got to this point. Once she gets a phone call, she calls Connor for help, being very demanding about it. Jennifer ends up going with him.
What's she doing here? You okay? How could I not be? Night in jail, squatting and coughing. I'm living the dream. Not all of us have lame TV shows and fake relationships to fall
Why
back
don't you
on.
calm down and lower your voice?
And when Raquel sounds ungrateful, Jennifer calls her out for it, making Raquel thank him.
How about saying thank you for dropping everything and bailing you out of jail? Why don't we start with that?
Thank you.
Later, Jennifer gives him some honest advice about Raquel.
The girl is toxic.
You don't know it.
Just because two people are in love doesn't mean they're right for each other. Trust me, I learned that one the hard way.
After getting some triggering texts from her later, Connor ends up hurting himself again, and Jennifer comes in and starts comforting him, almost very motherly-like.
What are you doing? Why did you do this?
I'm sorry.
It's okay, what happened? What happened?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It becomes clear what this relationship is for Connor. Beth tests Simon on his science knowledge. When she learns the requirements for it are just kids knowing things about the subject. Simon also reveals that he likes science. Later, she finds out that she'll be in a room observing them for 6 hours. A guy approaches her who also has a son auditioning, and he flirts with her and convinces her to sneak out of there so they can go have something to eat. We learn more about what happened to their parents.
Tell me about it. My mom died a couple years ago. My dad lost his job. We lost the house. And then one day he hands me the keys, says that he's gonna go look for work and that he'll come find us when he finds something.
When was the last time you did something you wanted to do?
We also see moments where Beth just wants to be a young adult, have no responsibilities, and hang out with friends. She ends up having sex with this guy, who ends up being married, and she's totally fine with it because she was able to have spontaneous sex without having to worry about the repercussions of her actions, doing something carefree. Later, after picking up Simon, they find out that Simon booked another role and things seem to be looking up. Nick comes into work hungover and Sabrina tries egging him on. She then worries because she sees how much of a boys' club it really is, and knows that she's probably not going to be able to keep her job when Nick is a guy. Later on, the boys go out to party again, and Nick notices that Sabrina is upset when she's left to write 10 pages by herself. Nick has been doing well lately, being able to win over Scott, and somehow he still finds himself feeling bad for Sabrina. While talking it over with a sex worker, Nick ends up going back to help Sabrina, showing that he cares for her, even when she's been messing around with him.
You want my help or not?
Not.
Too bad. What have you got so far? I like it. Simple, elegant.
Sabrina has clearly liked Nick the whole time, but after coming back and showing her that he was nice enough to help her when he gets nothing from it, I think showed her a genuinely caring side to Nick.
He told his girlfriend about me and stole my jokes. He was kind of hot, though, in a Harry Potter on a hunger strike kind of way.
No, I could afford it. That's not why I didn't have sex with a hooker.
Performance anxiety?
Shut up.
Yours doesn't change anything, right? We're still at war.
Why do you think I'm trying to distract you from finishing your homework?
Abby talks to Eddie, of all people, about her threesome situation with her co-workers, and he's of course happy to listen to it all.
Yeah, there's this one point where we're using our hands.
Go on.
And the way he was looking at me while why am I even telling you this?
Because I'm not judgmental and I'm a good listener. What was that about hands?
Things get even weirder when Laura starts coming on to Abby on set.
Brandon and I have been with other girls before, but last night, it was so different. So I'll see you tonight then.
Yes, you will.
This threesome thing is just a little strange, and I see this trope fairly often, but here it's just, there's something uncomfortable about it. Abby just doesn't interest me on top of that. She's like trapped in this throuple thing because she likes this guy so much.
Hey! No fair. We can't start up again without me.
It just doesn't even seem like she's worried about her job at this point. Brooke finds out that Caldrick's letting his father stay with him, and he's not happy about it, worried about what his father put him through in the past.
How long you been out? A while. Man, I thought they locked you up and swallowed the key. Meanwhile, we got Dynasty sitting down in the studio, burning our money, waiting for you to show up. Our money? Whatever. I say my pops is back, then he's back. Is that gonna be a problem? We talking about your father. How can it not be?
And the fact that money is being wasted since he hasn't been going to the recording studio. At Caldrick's house, there's a party going on, and Walter tells him that he won't be able to stay there. Dee stops by his house and brings up Tariq, and Caldrick gets defensive.
I don't know what happened between you two. That's between you and Tariq. I don't care. Shut your damn mouth.
Now, I don't know what you think you know, but you don't know it, understand? Now, as far as the studio, I'll get it on when I'm ready. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's interesting that Rook sees some of these things as bad things.
I need everybody out of my house. Why? You still work for me? Do you work for me? Do your job.
I know you've been through a lot lately, and you haven't exactly been thinking straight.
It's not working for me. How can't you understand that? I need to make a change.
Like, the lifestyle they were living was so normal, where they can just punch out whoever, have no consequences, have huge parties. Although flawed, you can tell that he's a loyal friend, someone that's looking out for you and will get mad on your behalf when you don't even have it in you to get mad yourself. He makes Caldrick choose between him and Walter, and obviously Caldrick is going to choose his father, even though he's put in a tough position.
And he hit your car by accident, and you took the spatula off the hot grill, and you pressed it up against his arm. My mom spent more time with Cal than you ever did. I don't want him here. See, because my memory ain't as fuzzy as everyone else. You don't choose him over me? See, I hope your little family reunion works out for you, Cal. Because you're running out of friends real quick, Walter.
Later, Walter tells Caldrick how he wants to get to know him, but Caldrick isn't ready to tell him about his sexuality.
I know I don't deserve it. Just want the chance to get to know you, the real you.
I don't know if you do. I'm not who you think I am. There's things about me, things that no one knows.
And agrees to meet with a woman that he knows.
Do you trust me? All those drugs, those women at your house, are they what you really want?
No.
I didn't think so. If you want a happy life, an honest life, you need to meet a woman like this. I'd like you to meet my son.
Raquel ends up losing her role in the movie because she missed filming, learning that she now owes the company $120,000 because they lost a day of shooting. She later gets an offer to go on the same rehab reality show that Rick went on, and because she doesn't want to believe that her career is over, her ego feels bruised, and she rejects the offer.
If I do that, it's over. I'm officially a joke.
You just got fired off Cactabear 2. If it isn't over, we're definitely in the final act.
I don't believe that.
You have to take this job.
Get out.
However, later she eventually agrees to it when she realizes she has no more options. Episode 6 starts with Raquel being mic'd up for the reality show.
Can you see your teeth? You're welcome to keep your cigarettes.
I don't smoke.
Okay, people, let's get well. Raquel, where did it all go wrong for you?
After seeing how Ricky turns his past into a sob story that he can just cry on cue for.
Last time I was happy, I was playing somebody else. You know, it turns out you really want to disappear. All you have to do is grow up.
Are you kidding me? We missed that?
I can go again. That's where I want to get.
Ricky, where did you go just then?
I was just thinking about magic. I was good at these magic.
Raquel gets the idea to use her acting skills as a way to rebrand her image, and this includes manipulating the other people there too. Raquel picks up on the fact that she's being baited.
If we can move away from this crazy misconception that I'm a bitch and start organically developing me as a compassionate and loving individual, that would be super.
After one of the producers has one of the girls trash her room.
Somebody get this bitch her lithium. I apologize. I'm sure it's hard to respect other people's stuff when you don't have any respect for yourself. Hang in there.
What are you, a lesbian? Don't touch me.
I am going to smack you in your skank mouth.
I have final cut. I decide how you look.
Raquel realizes that she has to conspire with Rick outside the range of the camera crew.
No one's been casting you as the thoughtful one. You're a man of action. You're like
Christian Bale? Channing Tatum? These boys.
I would go with like an older Edward Norton,
Norton,
Jewish Bruce Willis. If you want to be the bad boy, you have to start pissing people off.
And they come up with a plan for Rick to antagonize and Raquel to be the nice one that comes in to support them. Zach, a kid that struggles with weed dependency, ends up being the target. When Rick invalidates his experience, Raquel can then be the one that swoops in to be the nice woman that helps him.
I've had every drug in my body that you can think of. You want to waste everybody's time with your marijuana problems? Why don't you give up that chair to somebody who has a real problem?
Zach, hey, it's not Ricky talking, okay? That's just the withdrawal. Ricky, come on. I'm showing some compassion. I hear you and I see you.
Jennifer's husband Eric stops by, and she clearly still cares for him by the way she helps him when he's stumbling over.
I'm intruding. I will let you two lovebirds do whatever it is that you lovebirds do.
Oh, good. Eric, sit down. Sit. Promise me you will stay here with Connor until I get back, okay?
She wouldn't be letting him stay there otherwise. Jennifer leaves them alone when she has to go out. At first, Connor feels threatened when he thinks that Eric's gonna come back and steal Jennifer. After getting into a fight and learning how pathetic Eric is, the kind of guy that pawns his wedding ring off, and then tries to steal his wife's wedding ring. He also gives Connor some fatherly advice.
Crack everything I touch. Piece of advice: to manage to find something good, hang on to it, and do not let go of it. Marrying Jen, it was the only half decent thing I've ever done with my life. That ring is the only thing I have left of it.
What about your wedding ring?
I pawned it.
Connor ends up taking a liking to him. When she arrives back home, she sees that they're playing video games and joking around. You guys see what's going on here, right? Eric even makes this comment earlier in the episode.
Well, I bet you I'm old enough to be your dad.
Caldrick helps his father by paying for extra air conditioners and the electric bill for the power. Obviously a really generous thing to do.
You said you were having problems with some of the older residents getting heat stroke, though. Now you won't. I got it all covered.
Thank you. It's very generous.
Later, while on a date with Donna, Caldrick starts checking out this waiter, and he's clearly distracted. The waiter ends up leaving his number on a matchbook. When Donna asks if they can meet up later, Caldrick's hesitant since he doesn't really see this going anywhere. She also feels that there's a distance, but he tells her that he'll try to make time to meet her again. He later calls the number on the matchbook, and the guy on the phone entices him.
I know you're cute as hell.
How'd you know?
It looked like you were sitting at the wrong table.
Until his father walks in and tells him he's proud of the man that he's becoming.
You made a lot of people's lives better. You used some of what you have here to give something back. That meant a lot. I don't know if I have the right to say this, but I'm proud of you. I am proud of the man I'm watching you become. Gotta go.
And Caldrick then feels more guilty about being gay and wanting to meet up with that guy. He ultimately decides to burn the matchbook and go out with Donna, trying to further force himself to be straight. Nick wakes up at Sabrina's place and realizes that she took all his clothes, so he has to arrive at work like this.
I'd prefer not to talk about it.
I think it's nice that he is comfortable enough to show us the real him. Or her. Which do you prefer?
Do you have any pitches for us, Nicole?
As a matter of fact, I do. He starts going through, all the states that he's never...
After that, Nick gets back at her by texting Scott from her phone.
Look at your text messages.
My
Preferences? Surprising. I'm out of the lineup with what you are suggesting here. Let's just get out of here. Let's take off early.
I have herpes.
Which kinds?
Both kinds, all kinds. Well played.
Thank you.
Later, Nick expresses that he basically wants to have a serious relationship with Sabrina, where he doesn't have to worry about her pranking him all the time, and she agrees to a temporary ceasefire and uses the word truce.
How do I know you're not going to max out my credit card on pornography memberships?
Well, you don't, but isn't it exciting? Hey, okay. I declare a temporary ceasefire for the next 12 hours. Truce.
That depends. Promise to stop using words like truce.
The same word that Nick used back in the beginning of the season when he was trying to get along with her.
What do you say? Truce?
That depends. Do you promise to stop using words like truce?
In her own way, she's clearly telling him that she wants to be serious too. Beth gets overprotective and demanding with Simon on set when he has to play the role of a kidnapped child.
What the hell is he doing? Are you just gonna let him shove a gag down his throat like that? Simon, are you okay? I'm fine.
Who the hell are you?
I'm his sister. Who are you?
Would you like to get the hell off my set?
You want to keep your hands off my brother?
Beth, we're fine. We're acting.
She gets worried about him having to wear a plastic bag or being gagged up, to the point where she decides to remove him from the project altogether.
Just suffocate him!
Look, it has air holes in it. You guys have parents? What are you doing here anyway?
We quit. Beth, I'm fine. I'm pulling you off this stupid show. You have been treating us like garbage all day. You change his role without asking. You don't tell me what's going on. We're done. Simon, come on.
When really she was upset because she wasn't able to be in control, and Simon sees this, which upsets him. They get into a huge fight, and we really see the emotional weight and toll it's taking on Simon.
Said I'm sorry, all right?
Leave me alone!
You know what? Sometimes I really, really wish I could.
I hate you!
And sometimes I hate you too!
You know what else is a bad feeling? Sleeping in your car! Not having enough food! We needed that job! I hate you!
He's aware that they need the money because he knows the way they're living isn't normal, and there's a lot of things, just like Beth, he's had to give up. He's not even in school currently. The throuple escapades get worse as Abby and Brandon continue to keep their relationship secret from Laura, who thinks that Abby likes her just as much as she likes Abby. After having sex at her place, Laura stops by while Brandon is there. She tells her that she's not going to be able to do the threesome thing anymore, and Abby says she doesn't want to get in the way of their relationship, and after that he decides to end it with Abby, who I think was under the impression that he was going to choose her.
Laura and I have a history together, and we're trying to build something, and I need to honor that. Are you mad?
Yeah, a little, but mostly at myself.
He says this about her.
You are amazing and exciting.
And I can't help but think that Brandon was only attracted to her because he was exotifying her. After thinking they're in the clear, Laura is outside the door, noticing Brandon's car was in the parking lot.
I was about to drive off when I noticed your car in the parking lot. Someone seems to have keyed it, punctured all the tires, and broken all the windows.
She then makes a scene in front of everyone.
I hate you, local stuff. Who the hell do you think you are? We took you in and this is how you were paying us? Oh, the threesome is over. The world of pain that I'm about to put you through, it's just starting.
And pushes Abby into the pool.
We still got hurt.
Episode 7 starts off with Caldrick trying to have sex with Donna, but he can't get hard. He then learns later that Infinite is suing him. His lawyer tries to get him to settle since Caldrick is clearly bigger than the kid. Caldrick gets defensive, saying that he was provoked on his property and he had a right to defend himself. Infinite then threatens to dig into him to see what else he's hiding, and Caldrick clearly gets worried about that.
Didn't you get your little ass whooped pretty bad by my crew?
Maybe I should start doing some digging in your life and see what I come up with.
Don't know you, don't like you, don't care about you. Your lawyer's got better verbal skills than you do. You want to record deal? So sue me, chump. I won't even feel it.
Later, his lawyer, whose name is Christopher, asks Caldrick if he would consider mentoring him.
He's gonna go broke filing these little nuisance suits just to get your attention. You don't want to pay him off, that's fine. Consider mentoring him. That's not how we do things. No, I'm familiar with how you do things, and that's how we got here. The kid has a lot of energy. If it doesn't get channeled in the right direction, I really feel
That's the wrong precedent.
Infinite then escalates things further by setting Caldrick's car on fire. He goes to his lawyer's office enraged. He then tries to get his address out of him, but his lawyer obviously wouldn't tell him that. After telling Christopher to not have his client come near him again, this guy can see through Caldrick like an open book, and what happens next is unexpected.
If you don't raise up off me, you about to take this somewhere you don't want it to go. You came here to tell me something I already knew. That was worth a shot. Nah, you smarter than that. Whatever. Hey!
Jennifer wants to kick Eric out because she knows that he'll never change.
There's no getting better with Eric. There's just the calm before the storm.
Well, he has nowhere else to go.
Why do you care?
I don't know. I like him. Just let him stay a couple more nights. I think that I could get through to him.
Okay, a couple more nights.
But Connor is having so much fun with his pretend parents that he even tries to get Eric to stay. He takes his car keys and drives off with his car after Eric gets drunk and breaks a very important vase that he knew belonged to Jennifer's family, because I guess he's trying to prove to Connor how bad of a person he is.
I just fought to keep you here, and now, no, you're gonna stay. We're gonna sub you up. You said it yourself. She doesn't want me around, right? She just... This is okay. We can fix this. If I was belonging to her parents, can we fix it now? Why are you doing this? See you around, kid.
He eventually convinces Eric to stay, and Connor seems to think that he's found this new family he can rely on. Later, they're seen playing a board game together like a happy family, and it's kind of disturbing because you know that they're not a family, and because you know Connor is an adult that literally signed a contract to be this woman's boyfriend. She's also been nurturing him and having sex with him, and it's a little weird and confusing. Raquel is trying to keep up her nice girl act while pretending to support Zach, who's struggling to be there.
Nightmare, my mom came into my room and started strangling me because I wasn't making enough money. She used to beat the crap out of me when I was a kid, and my voice broke and the job started up. She just stopped paying attention to me altogether.
You're gonna get through this.
I feel like you're the only one here who actually really cares.
I don't know if that's true. She's good.
It's also sad how many times I've heard the same story where a child actor gets exploited, and once they hit puberty, they don't get any roles anymore. Then they start to believe that they're the problem and that they have nothing to offer. It really makes me angry at those parents that put their kids through this and gave them this, like, complex. Raquel, of course, is pretending to care, and it's hard to tell with lines like this.
I thought I had unsupportive parents, but I have never been through anything like that.
If she's being sincere. She later tries to convince Rick to call him out again to instigate more drama, but Rick doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy, so Raquel goes and lies to Zach, telling him that Rick is telling everyone that he's faking his addiction.
Who cares what Ricky thinks?
Well, I don't, obviously. Everyone else is starting to listen to him. That's all that worries me. Maybe it's time to stop letting people walk all over you. Isn't that what got you here in the first place?
Rick then wails into him too hard.
Is that why your mom checked out on you? Yeah, you can say whatever you want about her, Zach, but she was smart. She knew when it was over. When are you gonna realize that?
And Rick, who is also a child actor, that's basically probably had to hear the same things in his life before, doesn't even care about what he's saying to this kid. Raquel also calls him out for the exact same reason.
What the
the hell was that all about? Why don't you try being a real man and help him out instead of being a bully?
Bully. He instigated with me.
We're not here to tear each other down. We're here to build each other up.
I found myself laughing every time Raquel was trying to play the nurturing, caring older woman. It felt so insincere, and you can tell because the actress does a great job of portraying who Raquel actually is. So when she acts like this, you can really tell she's faking it. Later, Zach is found in his room on the floor ODing, and this is where Raquel realized how far she went. Sabrina worries about losing her job when she sees how close Nick has become with everyone. Nick later comforts her and reassures her that she'll probably be the one to get the job. We also see how Sabrina is affected by the fact that the comedian space is very heavily male-dominated.
Sabrina and I were thinking about a similar bit. It's kind of both of our idea.
No, it wasn't. I don't want credit for your lame jokes. You came to yourself, thanks.
Whoever's idea it was, I liked it. Let's get Paul in here, see what he thinks.
And she has to work harder to be taken seriously. She's also aware that she's usually the only woman there because they only go out of their way to really pick one. If they already have a woman writer, what's the point of hiring another one? It just shows that women have a hard time because they are perceived as being less funny than men. And because of that, she does feel inferior to Nick, who is a man and doesn't have to hear things like,
Too many times I've called around trying to get up and perform just to be told, hey, we already have a girl tonight, maybe some other time. I'm the only lady writer in the room. There's no way they're gonna fire the only girl on staff. I'm safe for sure.
She finds out later from Scott that she didn't get the job. She also thinks that her relationship with Nick is over because of it, but he goes back to her place to prove to her that he'd rather be with her than have his job, and calls to quit.
There are other jobs. There's only one of you.
You wanna be with me? Quit your job.
Listen, I've been thinking, and I'm not sure you made...
You were actually gonna quit.
Yes.
She stops him when she sees how far he's willing to go to be with her. Like I said, I did have my frustrations with Sabrina, and maybe I was too harsh, but there are parts that I do like about her, and I do think she's a better fit for Nick. Abby faces the repercussions of her actions. She tries to apologize to Laura, who's not hearing any of it. Brandon doesn't want to talk to her because he's afraid of Laura and because he doesn't want to get into trouble.
There's no we anymore, Abby. We say our lines, we be professional about it, and that's where it ends, all right? I'm sorry.
She's trying to get me fired. Could you at least
Just stay away from her. Stay away from both of us. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm sorry.
During a shoot, Abby is having a hard time getting her lines together since Laura is staring her down. And then she gets so fed up with Abby that she starts yelling at her.
This whole thing has just really scared me. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? I know what you're doing. You don't think I know what you're doing?
Laura.
I will crucify you.
Shut up!
Guys!
Donald wants to see all of you in his office.
Brandon and Laura play none the wiser. When Abby outs their throuple relationship, Laura calls her a liar and said that she made up a story about having a brother with cancer. Donald brings up the morality clause. Abby calls him out because she isn't convinced that anyone could be this clean and pure.
Okay, nobody is that clean. Do you mind if I check your browser history?
What are you doing?
700 Club.
Abby.
I know you're hiding something. Charitable donations, tax receipts. I'm fired, aren't I?
You are now.
She starts digging around his desk and looking on his computer, and that was it. She just screwed herself. She ends up getting fired, all because Brandon found her so intriguing. She later goes to look for Nick, who's with Sabrina. Abby is just so used to immediately going to men to give her comfort, because then she tries to call Connor too. She is dependent on guys to a point where it's self-destructive, and she really should take time to do some self-reflection as to why she's so dependent on men and only feels validation from men. Maybe Abby will take this as a lesson to really consider whether she wants to quickly get involved with a guy again. Simon is still angry with Beth. He's not feeling the audition that Cam and Kevin agreed to record for them. He's also angry because he feels like he has no say. Beth is controlling, she's always around, and he goes all out in front of Kevin and Cam while filming.
They were mistreating you. No, they weren't. They're mistreating you. You just care about yourself. We needed that job, Beth. If I don't work, how are we supposed to make enough money to get to Dad in Alaska? I was trying to protect you. Well, stop it. You're not my mom. I hate you.
He thinks that they're trying to make money to see their father, and he also thinks that Beth has been talking to him.
Call him. He left us. You said you called him. And he doesn't answer, Simon. He hasn't picked up for 6 months. You're lying. He wasn't the same after Mom died. He loves you. I'm so sick of being around you. I can't ever be by myself.
When she tells him the truth about their father, Simon clearly thinks she's lying because he doesn't want to believe that his father just abandoned them. He tries to leave, but she won't let him, and you really feel how suffocating it is for him. He can't even go anywhere to cool off, like his own room or outside. Beth then decides to leave to give him some space. She talks to Cam, who gives her advice about Simon and tells her to apologize for not telling him about their father. She also hears back about the science audition Simon had and finds out he got the role. Excited to tell him, she goes back to their room and notices that he left.
Simon?
Episode 8 starts with Beth, Cam, Kevin, and Eddie coming back from a night of looking for Simon. She doesn't want to call the police because she doesn't have legal custody of him, and she's worried they'll take him from her. Later, Cam tries to give her some words of support by suggesting that she call her dad, but she gets upset and defensive.
Maybe you should call your dad.
And do what? Why would you say that? You have no idea what you're talking about.
Later, she actually listens to him and tries calling her father again, who doesn't answer.
Hey, Dad, it's me, Beth. I really need your help. Please call me back.
Abby is now jobless and calls her agent to get a role, and all he offers her is a role as an extra, which she agrees to. She meets a man named Greg, who I guess is only there for the experience because he doesn't seem to need the money at all.
Just always loved movies. I thought it'd be cool to be in one.
He offers Abby money to show him around LA. He takes her to lunch at a very expensive restaurant, and here we go again. Abby just jumping into another relationship with a guy. She also finds out that he's in the Air Force and he's only in town for a few days. Everything is just moving really fast. And Abby's acting like she's known him for months at this point or something. It's just kind of frustrating. I just can't even be bothered to care. Caldrick wakes up the next morning still in Christopher's office. He takes a document with Infinite's address on it. Just from a few interactions, we learn that Christopher is very blunt.
You're a heavy sleeper.
No, I'm not.
Well, you were last night. Must be my soothing demeanor. I intimidate you.
I don't get intimidated.
He says as he runs from my office. If I don't eat, I'll be completely useless.
So?
Intimidate me to having breakfast with you.
He's also sure of himself where Caldrick is afraid and holds back. He's able to push Caldrick outside of his comfort zone by inviting him to breakfast and trying to get to know him.
Mr. Reed, you were yelling it in your sleep. Just someone I used to know. Next subject. Am I wasting my time? If you're not into me, just say so now.
The hell are you looking at? So what happened with this Tariq guy?
I gotta go.
Caldrick is also charmed by him, although he pretends that he's not. You see the few smiles that Christopher gets out of him. He then goes to Infinite's place where he threatens him to stop messing with him.
Somebody knock you down, you get back up. Be proud. Be a man. Who cares what anybody else thinks? You do. Nothing you rap about has anything to do with your life. You rap about the corner, yet you live in the mansion. You got your payback. Me and you, we're done.
Later, he goes back over to Christopher's house to apologize, and you can tell that he's not used to someone wanting to know more about him, or someone not wanting to only have sex. He saw how badly that turned out the last time, so he's more on guard. He even tries to kiss him as soon as he enters, and Christopher wants to finish their conversation from earlier.
Hey, I want to apologize for ducking out this morning. I'm just not used to all that.
At least you covered the bill. You wanna come inside? Hey, whoa. Let's start with the drink first, okay?
Later, while trying to get to know Caldrick again, Caldrick makes a comment about one of his sculptures he has being gay, and Caldrick clearly doesn't like that. I also love how Christopher calls him out.
You like it? Not really.
Wow, tell me how you really feel.
It's kind of,
Gay? You know you're gay, right?
With Tariq, it was clear that he hadn't really had a serious relationship before Caldrick. It wasn't used to how aggressive and abrasive he was. But Christopher doesn't take any of that, and it makes Caldrick uncomfortable because he's not used to someone poking at those parts of himself that he wants to keep hidden. I just like how straightforward he is, and it's someone that Caldrick needs to point out his destructive parts. Caldrick kisses him to avoid talking about himself, and Christopher can see how fast he's going, and tries to get him to calm down and take it slow.
I didn't force you to come here. You showed up on your own. Relax, relax. I'm not going anywhere.
shut up.
What the hell's your problem, man?
Caldrick then starts the same thing he tried with Tariq, but Christopher isn't Tariq and he doesn't want to deal with someone who hasn't come to terms with the fact that he's gay. So he kicks Caldrick out because he's not ready to confront that part of himself.
I like you, but I got rules. You're not out. I've dated enough self-haters. I'm not going back to that. I like you too, man, but I'm not interested in any of the demons that you're bringing in with you. I'm gonna say, well then talk to me. I can't. Get out! I would say to start with whoever that Tariq person is.
Connor is having fun with his new parents, but reality comes crashing in when he finds out they've gotten back together. He's not bothered by the fact that they're back together, but he thinks that he's going to be able to stay with them, that he'll be their new son or something.
I mean, look at you two. Look at us. I think we should celebrate.
You and I are no longer dating. I would effectively end our contract.
I thought you guys liked me.
We do like you, Connor. It's not like we're a family or anything. The three of us can't live together forever, right?
Would that be so crazy?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad and funny at the same time. They send him off as if they're sending their kid off to college, and Connor tells Jennifer about the vase before taking off.
We're only a phone call away if you need us.
I'm really happy for you guys.
Drive safe, okay, bud?
Hey, Jennifer, Eric broke your parents' vase when he was drunk. One in there's a fake.
He rents a room at the Lux where he finds Simon in a corner. After talking to him, Connor is able to get Simon to see that Beth was protecting him.
When's the last time you ate?
Yesterday. Oh, it's okay. We don't eat that much anyways. She said that she talked to him all the time.
Why didn't you ever ask to talk to him yourself?
She lied to me.
I'm just saying, why do you think that she did that?
I don't know.
I think you do. I'd give anything to have someone tell me a lie like that.
We also see that a woman has been looking for Connor, and she's gone through a private investigator to find him. Later, Simon goes back and makes Beth promise not to lie to him again.
I should have told you the truth about Dad. I'm not a baby anymore. You have to tell me everything.
anything. I know I will. I promise. Okay, but no more running away.
She also ends up getting a call back from their dad.
Hey, Bumblebee, it's Dad. I know I have some good news. Finally getting settled up here, and I think it's time for you guys to come home.
Who's that? No one.
Raquel feels guilty about pushing Zach to try to take his life.
I'm not playing anything. I mean, maybe now we can get some real help.
And maybe not.
You think he's mad at me?
Well, not because of the fake carrying betrayal and whatnot. No, I'm sure he's totally fine with that. That's why he took all those pills, because of how fine he was.
And she genuinely tries to apologize and convince him that he needs actual help and not a reality show.
I betrayed your trust. I let things get away from me for a while there. Zach, do you really think this is the place to do that? You need real help.
If I leave, I'll get in trouble. They're making my storyline the central arc for the season. I'm stuck.
She even tries to convince the producers to have some sympathy. They threaten to sue her if she leaves too.
Make him go, or I will.
And I'll slap a lawsuit on you so fast you'll get whiplash. I'll get back out there. Your hours until we're done with you.
She later decides to stand up and say that she doesn't want to be a part of the show.
He needs real treatment.
Now you hold on. Dr. Karen is very
Shut up. You should let him go.
I want to stay. I want to get better.
Walk out that door, you're in breach of contract. Stay, all you are is a hypocrite.
And later gets a text from Connor saying that she was right about Jennifer. Nick has some weird odd jobs that get oddly sexual. An old woman starts hitting on him after she teaches him how to play bridge.
What? How would you like to skip 40 years of just fumbling around in the dark and learn how to really please a lady? One learns by doing, Nick.
Then no. Then no. Thank you.
And then this other thing happens. I don't even know how to explain it. I guess I'll just show you.
Are you filming me?
Just checking my messages.
Oh. Okay, I think I'm done here.
Really appreciate your attention to detail.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, just keep it.
After he realizes how weird it's getting, he gets freaked out and leaves. On the bright side, he now has new material for his stand-up routine.
Every ad on the internet is a sex ad. Senior citizen seeks bridge partner? Sex ad. Man requires assistance with garage maintenance? Sex ad.
It's weird. I kind of got like Shameless vibes from this type of plot line. There's this nice scene at the end of the episode where everyone's plot lines conclude at the Lux, where Connor has ordered pizza for everyone.
Hey, everybody, it's Raquel! Raquel, come join us. We're making pizza-related memories over here.
Who's buying?
What do you think? The man of the hour, Connor.
Am I invited? Fine. Move over, Siegfried.
We see that all the main characters are eating dinner together, except for Caldric, whose plotline is basically in a league of its own, honestly. All of them are sitting at a table having fun with each other, despite their dysfunctional lives. It was actually really nice to watch. I also realized how separate everyone's plotlines really are. They don't really overlap too much. Some of these characters don't even know the other, really. It's interesting the way they focus on all of these people from completely different backgrounds, different struggles, all connected by one show. Struggling in LA. We find out at the end of the episode that it was Connor's younger sister, Charlotte, that was looking for him.
Who are you?
My name's Charlotte. I'm your sister.
Episode 9 starts off with Connor's sister explaining what happened to their mother and brother after his mother left with them.
I've been imagining this for most of my life. Josh moved back to Australia. I don't really speak to him much anymore. And Mom, she was sick.
When?
2 years ago. I wanted to tell you when it happened, but I couldn't find you.
I just have a lot of questions. I know everything.
He finds out that his mother died 2 years earlier, so he was never able to have closure with her. Eddie and Nick have the wrong idea when Connor takes Charlotte upstairs to his room.
Unbelievable. The man's an artist.
Connor and Charlotte decide to get a DNA test after he has doubts. He also learns that she struggled with self-harm in the past as well.
It's okay. I used to be a cutter, but now I'm not. What's with the bandage?
Rogue accident.
We start to understand how depressed their mother was, that Charlotte probably didn't have a great childhood.
No, I used to take those too. They made me feel better, but they didn't make me get better.
They work for me.
I mean, I'm sure they mask the problems so you don't have to deal with it, but sorry, I'm opinionated. I don't mean to.
That's okay.
I want you to be happy and healthy.
Even though she didn't grow up with their father, she still dealt with a bit of dysfunction. After finding out that they're siblings, Charlotte reveals the truth about how their mother died.
Mom didn't die. She killed herself.
Why?
Because me? She never forgave herself for what she did to you. She didn't talk about you much. I know she thought about you every day.
At least he knows that she didn't leave and forget about him. She was filled with guilt having to choose between her children. And in the long run, this really emotionally and psychologically affected Charlotte. She reveals to him that she's also with the Church of Cyanetics, and we obviously know what they're trying to do here. It's actually a few shows at this point that have commented on how batshit this religion is. Raquel gets served by the rehab reality show she was on for walking off.
Raquel Westbrook. I recognize that walk anywhere. I just thought you were the best part of that whole show. So you are Raquel Westbrook.
You got me. What is this?
Raquel Westbrook, you've been served. You're being sued.
She has no other choice but to declare bankruptcy, and she at first doesn't really understand what the consequences will be for that, but she'll soon find out. While drinking at a bar, she finds out that her agent won't be representing her anymore.
You got fired from Cactavere, you walked out of Celebrity Halfway House. You're not bondable, which means no one can hire you. I can't represent you anymore.
Debbie, please. You're the only one on my side right now.
Sorry, Raquel.
The owner, Mark, seems to be flirting with her and gives her a free drink.
My bartender's playing hard to get.
He's probably on one of his early 50-minute breaks. Black pepper martini, courtesy of table 8.
Thanks, Table 8. If the boss finds out.
I won't tell if you don't.
Later, she offers to be a waitress when one of the workers have to leave, after not doing so well because she's not a people person.
Well, a lot of people aren't getting the food they order, or on time, or sometimes at all. Most of the complaints are about your attitude.
Your customers are stupid, and I want to know who said that.
It's not important.
Because I know who it was. It was Table 4, right?
She gets offered a job as a bartender. Mark tells her how he left his wife and put all of his money into opening the bar because he wanted to do something different. And these are small attempts at showing Raquel humbling herself and also realizing that she can do something on her own if she wants to make it happen.
This isn't where I saw myself ending up.
I mean, this doesn't have to be the end of the line. I was a civil servant in Lincoln Heights. I quit my job. I left my wife. I put every dollar I had into opening this restaurant.
So I guess I just have to find out what my restaurant is.
We know for sure it's not restaurants.
Beth decides to take some time for herself with Cam. Since she didn't have a lot of things to read when she was younger, she memorized the dictionary.
It was one of the only books we had when I was a kid, so
You're gonna have to make up this last time then.
Now don't push me in the pool. We want to go in. Don't do it. Not my kid. No, don't push me in the pool.
It might feel a little unrealistic, but the point is to establish an interest that Beth has outside of taking care of Simon. While having a day of fun, she turns her ringer off and completely forgets about Simon. He ends up being dropped off when she doesn't come to pick him up. Beth then feels guilty for forgetting him.
I'm so sorry that I wasn't there to pick you up today. It's okay. It's fine. It's not fine, Simon. I'm gonna do better. I promise.
She also feels guilty for having fun. And when you bear a lot of responsibility, the idea of taking time for yourself starts to feel unfamiliar. And there is a feeling of guilt that can come with that.
I can't be selfish. He's my responsibility.
You can't make every second about Simon. Otherwise, you're gonna end up resenting him. That's not good for anyone. You are the opposite of selfish.
The opposite of selfish is altruistic or unselfish.
They decide to go back to his room. Raquel gets the idea for Cam and Kevin to make the film without funding. She walks in on Cam and Beth. His reaction's kind of hilarious, by the way.
Hey!
Oh, come on! Can we please just...
Hello, I'm Raquel.
Beth.
After getting some inspiration from Mark, she feels encouraged to try to make something happen on her own. We also see a nicer side to Raquel in this moment.
The movie. Let's make it. We'll do a guerrilla style. We'll use what we have and we'll see what we don't.
And where are we supposed to find a luxury high-rise apartment that we can shoot in for free?
Okay, 10 minutes. We'll shoot the paper airplane green. Okay? Make it 20 minutes.
Scott asks Nick to take the heat when Paul finds his cocaine in the bathroom.
The cleaning staff found this in the back of the toilet in the writer's bathroom this morning. This is not the 70s. It's not the mid-80s. It's not various portions of the 90s. It's not a high school or a discotheque in Monaco.
At first, Nick is hesitant because Paul clearly doesn't like Nick since the first episode of the show, but Scott is convinced that he'll go easy on him. Nick ends up taking the fall, and Paul doesn't believe him at first, and then Nick convinces him that it was him, and he gets fired. Nick then goes to ask Scott to take responsibility, but of course he's not going to. He then makes a comment about Sabrina, and Nick ends up punching him.
Of course you're gonna hang me out to dry. You might be the worst person I have ever met. You look like a Muppet without its fur, and the only reason you're even here is because Paul knew you back when you used to be funny.
The only reason you're here is because I figured out that Sabrina and I were never going to bang.
From the first episode where Nick was literally getting cucked by Connor to gaining the confidence to punch Scott when he insults his girlfriend does show some growth in his confidence. I also think that I start to like Nick a lot more toward the end of the show than the beginning because his conflicts go beyond him not being able to just talk to a girl or get a girl. We're at a point where we see how he's supportive and has the confidence to take the lead in his relationship with Sabrina.
Scott could sue me. I could go to prison. I could get violated by a lifer who happens to like my life.
Listen to me, because I'm only gonna say this once. You're funny. You're smart. You have a home. You have cash in your pocket. And you have me.
Caldrick is determined to find Tariq and to get closure, and he only knows one other person that was close enough to know where he was. He doesn't straight up ask Abby right away, and instead takes her to the studio where he records some tracks with her. You can also tell that he has a difficult time bringing up Tariq to her when she asks about him. He's also conscious about not making her feel uncomfortable and scared, which is probably why he has a hard time bringing it up. And then we get one of the most emotionally visual scenes of the show, and Cassie's acting really sells it. Caldrick explains everything that happened between him and Tariq. You don't hear dialogue, but the emotions are really conveyed very strongly.
I heard him. I heard Tariq.
What are you talking about?
Episode 10 starts with Charlotte convincing Connor to meet with some people at the Church of Cyanetics, and he starts to learn how they operate.
We were so excited when Charlotte told us you were thinking about coming in today. Artists play such an important role in society, and you are an incredible artist.
I don't know about that.
There's no need for modesty here. We'll jump right into your personality test, just to see where you're at, so we can find out where you have to go.
They definitely use a lot of mind games to get you on board.
She left you with him.
She needed to take care of Charlotte. My brother was old enough to look after himself. She couldn't handle anything else. She had to leave me.
Why didn't she take...
Because I'm not worth taking. Why else would she leave me behind? She didn't want me.
This is where it started. So this is where we start.
They love validating him, making him feel like he's important and special. And this is how they convince people that they're of use to the church, convincing them that they have a purpose, when really it's just to get more people to join the cult.
$5,000 to $10,000.
Nothing is expensive when your life is at stake.
Now my life is at stake.
Isn't it? I lost both my parents in a car accident. I lost the next 10 years of my life trying to reconcile myself to that. How many years have you lost already? How many more are you willing to lose?
Connor learns that he has anxiety and issues with communication, and is overall unhappy, which we knew by this point.
You also seem to be carrying an inordinate amount of non-specific anxiety. I went right for the detoxification sequence and basic communication series. Look at these intelligence levels. Won't be hard for you. You're a priority. She'll probably be able to fast track you.
He's also able to be convinced by this church that they can fix his problems. He then decides to join, which makes Charlotte happy. You definitely feel the intensity of Charlotte's energy when she just met her brother like 2 days ago. Raquel finds out that because she declared bankruptcy, she won't be able to get a loan with any bank for at least 10 years. At the bar, one of the employees, Manny, then tells her about this device he has that skims off of people's credit cards.
4-month buffer before they can even use the numbers. Only people getting hurt are the banks. They're the ones getting the charges, which is fine by me. They've been screwing us over for years. We're just screwing them back. If Mark suddenly finds out about this,
I'm not a rat.
that's good. It's good for the both of us.
At first she refuses, but ultimately decides to do it. Every time that you think that Raquel is going to start making better decisions, she keeps falling into the same destructive patterns. Because of her desperation to stay relevant, Caldrick's guilt is eating him alive. He chases after Abby, who's understandably disgusted with him.
Are you trying to make yourself feel better?
No, I need to see him again.
So you can tell him you're sorry? So you can tell him to take you back?
No.
Then what?
You didn't see his face. I just need to make sure he's okay. I gotta put this thing to rest. I thought maybe you could...
You thought wrong. You stay away from me or I'll call the police.
He wants to know if she can find out where he is, and she ends up getting his parents' address. She also decides to go with Caldrick to Montreal to track down Tariq. On the plane, Abby is anxious, and Caldrick gives her some pills that he's been using to help him sleep.
They'll help you relax. I've been taking them to help me sleep, but I can't say they've been working. Thank you for helping me.
Not helping you. I'm using you. Just want to make sure Tariq's okay.
So do I.
Abby makes Caldrick promise to leave if Tariq doesn't want to see him.
If he doesn't want to see you, you don't go in. I'm serious. If he doesn't want to do this, we go home. And you don't try and contact him again.
That was not a part of the deal.
I'm not asking.
When they get there, we see that Tariq is in a better place and has a new boyfriend. I wish we could have focused on his side of things. He agrees to see Caldrick, who apologizes to him for everything.
Thank you for letting me see you. I've been doing my best not to think about you. I just needed to know that you were okay. I'm fine. I'm with someone that's not ashamed to be with me. You worry about the next guy who's unlucky enough to fall in love with you. I would never hurt someone that... I wouldn't do that again. I'm so happy I could help you grow.
Caldrick also tells him that he's been working on himself and he's trying to be a better person.
If I can go back and change what I did, I would. But I can't do that. All I can do is try to change who I am today. So that's what I'm doing. So I guess I just needed you to know that. Good to know. Bye, Cal. Goodbye, Tariq.
Even though it didn't go perfectly, he was still able to know that Tariq was safe and in a better place. It doesn't mean that that guilt will ever go away completely, but he can now try to move forward, accepting himself and learning better ways to deal with things emotionally. Nick and Sabrina go golfing with her parents.
I still don't know why you bought that hat.
Bothers you, doesn't it?
Yes.
That's why I bought it. Hold my hands.
Take off the hat. Hi, Mom. This is Nicholas.
Why don't you two join us for golf and dinner at the club?
We're not really dressed right. We'll just stop at the pro shop and get you all sorted.
He finds out that they think she's a pre-med student. He encourages her to tell them the truth after he gets words of support from her father, who tells him to go after his dream.
I guess I was just worried you wouldn't think being a comedian was good enough. Not at all, son. I respect it. You're going after your dream. When I was in college, I played drums in a band. And we were actually pretty good. And sometimes I regret not making a go of it.
Nick doesn't realize that he partly said that to him because he isn't his kid. He doesn't have to worry about the outcome if comedy doesn't work out for Nick. He also seems like the traditional type that wouldn't be okay with his daughter being a comedian.
I do think they're gonna find out, and when they do, it's gonna be terrible.
Just put yourself out of your misery.
No way. My dad will flip out.
I think you're underestimating him.
That's what he told you, that he wishes he'd followed his dream?
Yes. So why wouldn't he want you to follow yours?
And my suspicions are proved right. After she takes Nick's advice, her father becomes angry and decides to cut her off.
What I've always wanted to do is become a comedian.
The hell with your dreams. Where's my $80,000?
I'm doing what I love. Why can't that be enough for you?
Cut off.
I am very disappointed in you, Sabrina.
Her parents clearly suck. The moment she doesn't do what they want, they're just ready to hang her out to dry.
I know it doesn't seem like it now. This is gonna be a great bit in like 12 years.
Cam encourages Beth to take the SATs after she shows how smart she is. The school that she takes the SATs at literally looks like one of the hallways from from Degrassi. It's moments like this where I can't really separate the two shows, even if I wanted to. Simon hangs back with Kevin, who's trying to make a bubble machine. We also see that Kevin is clearly upset that Cam is spending more time with Beth.
Do you love Cam? You know, I mean, you know, there's love there. We are loving. No, but I don't love him. I mean, I do. You know, I would do anything for him. You know what I mean? Not really. I'm 10. Can we turn the fan on now?
Cam also plans an ice skating date for Beth. Later, after getting the bubble machine working, everyone seems to be having a great time until Beth and Simon's father show up. Episode 11 starts with Simon introducing his father to everyone.
I thought you went to Alaska.
Couldn't find work, so I had to keep moving on, and I got a great job.
Dad, this is Kevin, Cam, Eddie, and the girl from Teenage Wasteland.
It's Raquel, it's not hard.
Beth is clearly uncomfortable and still upset and disgusted with her father, who just showed up after not calling. Later, while trying to run lines with Simon, their father suggests to go to an amusement park.
I don't think he's old enough.
Hey, how about you let your dad worry about that, huh?
Dad, if it's not safe...
Beth, it's okay. I want to do it.
Well, I'm not going. That looks dumb.
All right, well, I guess it's just those guys then.
She's also worried about his work environment being too unstructured and unsafe for Simon.
Sorry, did you just compare the Yukon to an amusement park?
I think it sounds cool.
Like, are there many kids on the site where you work? You disappear for months, and then you just show up. Do you think that we'll just forget that you ditched us?
Trying to get a job.
So what kind of father just leaves his kids?
He also doesn't seem to be the most responsible type. When Beth doesn't think it's a good idea to go to the amusement park, their father makes it look like she's the bad guy.
Let's just play hooky.
This is our job.
You don't take breaks? Come on, buddy. How would you feel about riding some roller coasters today?
We have an audition.
Fine, sorry, but there's no roller coasters. That was out of line.
Great. Let's spend some money instead of trying to make it.
Oh, yes.
You start to see slight ways that he's manipulative. He later says how he wants to take them both to live with him. Beth refuses to go, and her father then makes it non-negotiable. She argues that she's 18, so she doesn't have to leave. And then he takes it upon himself to wake up Simon and ask him where he wants to go.
We're staying.
Listen to me. This is not a negotiation. You are coming.
I'm 18. I don't have to do anything you say.
Simon, wake up. What do you say? You wanna come live with Dad?
But what about Beth?
I can't, Simon.
I want to stay with Beth.
It's unclear if he's only making this decision because he sees how distressed his sister is, or if he actually doesn't want to go with his father. Maybe it's a little of both. Their father doesn't take no for an answer and starts carrying Simon out, and Beth is begging him not to take him.
Down! Put him down! Dad, please! Beth!
Hey, put him down! I said put him down!
But this is for his own good.
It's for your own good.
Wait.
Simon.
Imagine being a kid and waking up to this. While at an interview, we see that Raquel is being rejected for another loan, but it's revealed that it's all a ruse. She pretends to be the angry Karen to get the woman to leave the room so they can use their office to film a scene for their movie. She also asks Connor if he'll play the love interest in the movie.
We're making a movie. Do you want to be in it?
I thought maybe you were about to apologize.
I was, but you know, come on.
You don't want to talk about all the mean things that you said?
Do you want to talk about all the mean things you said?
No, not particularly.
Okay, can we call this the talk then?
When she's trying to do her little scam later, she's caught by one of the drunk guys, and it starts a huge brawl. And because he was really drunk, no one suspects her.
Hey, I saw what you did. Hey, your bitch bartender here is trying to put one over on me.
Switch to coffee for a while, bitch.
She then goes to Manny to tell him that she doesn't want to be involved anymore, until she sees all the money that they made in one day. While patching Mark up, he asks Raquel out on a date, but she rejects him because she has things going on in her life. Since her parents cut her off, Sabrina decides to move in with Nick. I also love the husband and wife energy that they give. It's kind of cute sometimes.
Ow, my back!
Are you serious?
Yeah, no.
That's not funny.
It's a little funny.
Later, she pulls her back out and is stuck lying on the floor. Nick tries to make her feel better, but she clearly blames him to a certain degree for what happened with her parents.
You are the reason I'm missing the most important audition of my life.
First of all, I did not know there were pillows in that box. I just grabbed the biggest one because I'm a gentleman. And I'm not the one who made you lie to your parents while embezzling $80,000 from them. So you can lie there and feel bad about it, or we can do something about it.
Just leave me alone.
He also helps her last minute with a change to her routine, since she can't stand. He even carries her in and everything. They eventually talk later and say I love you to each other.
You hate being helped.
You like me. It's scary because no one's ever, I think I might love you.
No!
No?
No! I really wanted to say it first.
I'm sorry, baby. I'd make it up to you. My back.
You can tell that underneath the fun and games, Sabrina is scared to have a serious relationship. In this moment, they were both able to take the next step in their relationship, and it shows how far we've come from the pointless, petty pranks in the writer's room. Greg stops by Abby's room. After having sex, she's upset that he's leaving and doesn't know how long he'll be gone. She later has a friendly talk with Nick about how she feels about Greg.
Have you ever met anyone? You just thought, hey, this might be it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Hey, Nick, if you're gonna flirt with your ex-girlfriend, do you maybe want to take it downstairs?
I had an idea. I'm gonna take a walk.
Instead of having to wait around for him, she decides to break up with him after they spend the rest of their time together. Later by the pool, Greg tells Abby in the most superficial way possible what his experience is like in the Air Force. He also said that he's learned not to take any minute for granted, and then he tells her that they have 4,000 minutes left together. He even proposes to her later outside when they haven't even known each other that long. Connor looks more into the Church of Cyanetics and learns from Eddie that it's a cult, and then he feels betrayed by Charlotte, who he thinks was only doing this to get a higher commission for recruiting someone.
Are you playing me? I got aliens invading souls? Have I just joined a cult? Do you
never-
get 10% of the money that I pay?
Can you stop? I've spent my entire life trying to find you. I wouldn't do anything to hurt you.
Charlotte stops him from leaving and convinces him that she wasn't using him. Later, he goes back to talk with this woman, Roxanne, who convinces him not to believe what he sees on the internet, basically getting him to doubt his better judgment.
The aggression you're feeling is quite a common part of the detox process. Want to get better, Connor? I know you do. Don't throw away the chance because of something you read on the internet. This is your pattern. You sabotage the good, nurture the bad. Break your pattern.
Caldrick brings Christopher a new sculpture and apologizes for his behavior.
I break things. I'm trying to stop. You asked me to get rid of my baggage, and I'm working on that. I want to do this, you and me. I can't go from 0 to 60. All I'm asking is that you be open with me. The rest we can work on. So what happens now? Why don't you invite me over for dinner?
Caldrick also apologizes to Dee for his behavior.
Been distracted. I know I've disrespected you and wasted a lot of your time. But I'm down with all that. I'm here to work. If you'll still work with me.
So you gotta say to me?
Do you want a hug or something?
Well, I got another client coming in. We got a couple of hours, so what we working on?
And we also see how much Caldrick has grown, where he's able to take accountability and apologize for his actions instead of justifying everything he does. He also finds out that Infinite is recording at the same record label and Rook is working with them. Later, while having dinner, things seem to be going well between Caldrick and Christopher.
Man, you don't understand. Rook's like my brother. Nobody knows me better than him.
He's not working for you anymore. What else is he supposed to do?
Not go work for the person who torched my car? Do you always take the side of the person that's not here? Force of habit.
So what, are you gonna sit there all night? Are you gonna help me make us dinner?
He's able to vent about Rook to him. I also like how Christopher provides a different perspective, so Caldrick can see things from a different lens. He's also able to just sit down and have a normal conversation with a man without worrying about being judged, just doing what anyone else would do on a date, and just as he's having a good time with Christopher.
That's not how you do it. Well, I don't know how to chop now. I got this.
Well, it's not just that. It's, I kinda just wanna do this.
I got it. Don't answer my... Get off my phone. Yo, this Cal. What's up? Who is it?
He gets a phone call, learning that his father had a stroke. Episode 12 starts with Connor and Raquel filming, and things are clearly awkward between them playing love interests. The police then come storming in, arresting Connor for arson and insurance fraud. While being questioned, Connor tries to cover his tracks, but the cops find too many inconsistencies in his story.
So after your kitchen exploded into flames, you moved towards the fridge, away from the exit to grab a beer.
It's illegal to have bad judgment?
Why did he go to grab a beer if the house was burning? If the fire was an accident, why didn't he grab the fire extinguisher? Things like that. He then asks for a lawyer. After trying to get a hold of a representative of the church, Charlotte gets desperate and then turns herself in, saying that she started the fire on purpose. Connor saying one thing, Charlotte saying the other. As they're both being questioned, a lawyer comes in representing them. One of the sheriffs is a friend of the church and called the lawyer so they don't get questioned anymore, since it wouldn't look good for them. Connor is now starting to believe that he has security and a place of belonging with the church. Christopher shows up at the hospital to support Caldrick, who thanks him for being there. After learning that his father's insurance won't pay for treatment, Caldrick gets heated with the nurse.
Thank you for being here.
Well, your dad just had a stroke. Where else would I be?
The hospital needs proof his bill can be paid before we continue to treat him.
The man is in a
You
coma.
want proof? This one belongs to Walter Dewey. Cal,
I mean, seriously, how many times have we seen this where insurance denies claims? When a person is already worried about what will happen to their loved one, they have to worry about the coverage of it. American media depicts this a lot because this is a huge problem. Christopher de-escalates the situation by explaining to the nurse who Caldrick is, and how they might want to treat Walter to avoid a lawsuit. Caldrick is also worried that he won't be able to tell his father that he's gay, and Christopher encourages him to tell him when he wakes up.
What if he dies?
He's not going to.
What if he does? He still has no idea who I am.
So tell him as soon as he wakes up.
Donna shows up later, who Christopher was unaware of. She starts to catch on that their relationship isn't going anywhere, especially when she wasn't the first person that Caldrick called. He talks to his father when he wakes up, but becomes afraid again to tell him.
Something I need to tell you. Donna came by. She told me to make sure I told you that. She said she loves you.
Caldrick also apologizes to Christopher for not telling him about Donna. Christopher forgives him under the circumstances. As Caldrick's holding his hand, Rook approaches them, and Caldrick quickly pulls his hand away.
Couldn't do it. I couldn't tell him.
You will.
And I should have told you about Donna.
Yeah, you should have. But under the circumstances, I'm gonna give you a get-out-of-jail-free card.
I wish I could kiss you right now.
Me too.
Rook explains the reason why he went to work for Infinite. He planned to watch what Infinite was up to, his motivation being to protect Caldric. While in the studio, he started rapping about Caldric and Rook tried to stop it and ended up getting fired. And he also says how he was mad at Caldric and took the hard drive with the security footage of him and Tariq. He was clearly mad at Walter and wasn't thinking when he did it. And he was also mad at Caldric too. Infinite ended up stealing the hard drive. And then we get an unexpected reveal from him.
The hell you take from me? A hard drive. Man, I was mad at Walter. I don't even know what I thought. Did you watch it? I've known you since we were 4 years old. I didn't need to watch it. I messed up, man. I know. I'm sorry, man.
I think Rook is a good addition because we can see how he cares for Caldric. He also adds some context as to how Caldric grew up. Like I said, he's flawed, but he clearly cares about Caldric. Abby wakes up to find herself married to Greg in Las Vegas. He seems to be totally on board with it. She's almost convinced that they made the right decision until she realizes that they don't know anything about each other. They end up getting their marriage annulled. However, Abby is convinced by Greg that she was happy when they got married and uses the fact that she feels a little bit bad about their marriage being annulled to convince her that she's hesitant because she still wants to be married to him.
When's my birthday? It's my favorite movie. What foods do I like? We don't know each other. I like you, and I might even love you. This is a mistake.
Obviously, she would feel bad that they had to get their marriage annulled, but he uses this to kind of manipulate her into thinking that they made a mistake. To me, it just feels a little manipulative that he's making her feel bad for doubting that the relationship is progressing too fast.
Part of you was happy this morning. When you woke up with that ring, a hell of a lot happier than you are sitting in this truck right now.
Maybe a little bit.
What if we just stayed married while I'm gone? Let the Air Force pay the bills. Maybe it was a mistake to get married this quick. Getting unmarried would be a way bigger one.
It also feels like he wants a trad wife in a way, a woman he can come home to and send money to, take care of. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that if both people agree to it. However, Abby seems hesitant about all of it, and that's where it makes me feel a little uncomfortable with the fact that he's offering her so much to stay in this relationship with him. He convinces her that they should reverse the annulment, and they go back into the office where Abby rips up the papers and they stay married. Oh yeah, this is definitely a healthy relationship. Later, while in the tub together, both of them are testing each other on how much they know each other, as if it makes up for the fact that they got married without knowing any of this stuff, including their last names. Things seem to be going well between Mark and Raquel until Manny pulls up in a DeLorean, wearing better clothes than he normally does. Mark gets suspicious of Manny, wondering how he can afford all of it with the wages as low as they are. Raquel warns Manny to stop, and Manny makes it her problem when he's the one that's making Mark suspicious in the first place, and she demands a bigger cut. Manny explains later that the car was used, but admits that she was right that he shouldn't have brought it to work. He also told Mark that the car was his cousin's to make him less suspicious. Mark then kisses Raquel after she literally just told Manny that she would.
I'll try and stop playing footsies with the boss. Not that we were doing that after hours.
I thought I was cool there for a sec.
Well, you are not.
Understood.
Nick gets a job performing at a kid's birthday party, and he uses some of his adult stand-up routine, replacing the context to be more suitable.
And she informs me that the only way she can enjoy her milkshake is if I'm holding her hand. It's not going great, but in my defense, what about this suggests good at hand-holding?
When talking with one of the magicians who started out wanting to be a comedian and became complacent in performing at birthday parties, Nick starts to worry that he won't make it as a comedian and he'll be doing the same thing forever. Sabrina worries about her career not taking off and the fact that she's running low on savings. Nick then reassures her that things will be okay.
I don't have a job. My parents cut me off. My bank account is plummeting. What am I doing?
You're freaking out. Relax. We don't need to worry about money. We both still have checks coming from the PFT show, right? Plus, this gig I'm doing for Check today apparently pays really well.
And I like that he's her anchor when she's starting to worry about stuff. Like I said, it's very husband and wife energy.
We're throwing this out.
Hey,
You need to buy more shelves. You need a dresser.
Okay, calm down. I'll buy you a dresser.
Oh, everything's so easy for you.
What is this about?
Nothing. You sound weird. How's it going?
She's also convinced that he's advancing his career when she thinks that he's going to a private party for a network executive. He clearly doesn't want her to know that he's worried about his career as well. When he finds out that she got a call back for the job,
I think I really made an impression.
This is so great. It's really happening, Nick. It's happening for both of us. Can you believe it?
No, I can't.
he worries that he's going to fall behind. After learning she got a high score on the SATs, she's convinced by Cam that she might be able to go to college. While on campus looking around, Beth and Cam run into his ex, who's doing very well, successful, and very forward. She just says so casually how Cam lost his virginity to her, clearly trying to make Beth feel uncomfortable, which it does.
How old is she? She's like 23, and she's already going after her PhD and giving lectures. How can you like someone like her and someone like me? What is this? What am I to you? Is this serious or is this just convenient?
Where's this coming from?
What am I doing here?
Cam?
She becomes insecure when she finds out that they've made sex tapes together.
I'm doing my dissertation on pornography and sexual politics in the age of universal access. What about you? Still making movies?
You know, trying.
Are they like the movies we used to make?
No, they're different than those. I'm just...
And she's worried that she's not exciting enough for him. Cam is at least honest and says how he's attracted to her, but he also broke up with her because she was intense. She meets with an English professor to answer some questions she may have, and she also tries to talk herself out of not being able to go to school because of money or childcare. When they get back to the Lux, they see Simon being taken, learning it was child services.
Pat, they have Simon.
What? What? Hey! Hey! Stop! Who was that? Who took him?
Child Protective Services.
Pat, they showed me their badges. I didn't know what to do.
Later, back in his room, Charlotte and Connor celebrate not getting arrested. Although they're siblings, I have been getting some weird energy from them. The way Charlotte idolizes Connor so much, and how far she's willing to go for him right away. I know she's his sister, but everything just feels very intense. She literally recruited him into a cult. I literally said out loud while watching this, I don't like where this is going, and I couldn't even finish my sentence before...
I've just never felt this close to someone before. I love you, Charlotte.
I love you too.
And we finally made it to the final episode. Let's see how the LA complex goes out. The episode continues right after Charlotte kisses Connor. He's clearly shocked and disgusted.
Why would you do that?
Well, you told me you love me. You said that.
No, Charlotte, you're my sister.
I spent my entire life trying to find you.
Why would you do that?
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Connor later tells Roxanne at the church, and they track her down eventually, convincing her to go to a retreat in Colorado. They also tell him that they normally wouldn't go so far, but they're obviously interested in Connor. He tells them that they want to talk to Charlotte, but they say how it's not a good idea for his recovery.
She needs to get her head right. You need to get your head right. You have been making such incredible breakthroughs every day. Don't let this slow you down, please. Keep the system working.
And Charlotte actually told them that she doesn't want to talk to Connor, so Connor has to accept that his sister that he just met has left for some retreat and he has no way of contacting her. He later talks with Raquel, who asks him if he's okay, and he responds,
I don't think I've ever been okay. I think I'm ready to be.
It's good to hear. I'm not sleeping with you.
I don't want you to.
I have a boyfriend now.
Great.
What happened to your arm?
I used to bet myself, but I don't anymore.
Raquel seems to be taken aback by Connor's honesty, even though she can probably relate. Then he admits to her that he would burn himself. So this was clearly going to be where Connor would start to work on himself for the better, even though he'd still be tied to the church. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see how that would further play out. Abby finds out that Greg will be stationed in Germany. She's sad and feels like she doesn't know how to go on without him. It's kind of crazy how much she's attached to this guy already. It just feels so odd that we went from the other plot line to this. It's just really weird. After going to an audition and doing horribly,
I've spent my whole day here, and now you guys won't even let me read?
Who cares? That's the job. You wait for us, and then we stare at you, and if we don't like what we see, then we move on. You're not important. You're an actress, not a doctor. In what world is this girl 5'7"? You're still here.
she reconsiders what she wants to do with her future. Greg leaves behind a record player, coming up with the idea to record their letters to each other.
I love you, Abby. Don't be sad. Be happy you found each other. Don't let one little emotion get in the way of that.
While coming to the end of this, I've started to notice something. Abby is just basically Manny. There isn't much depth here, because her plot lines are strictly about men, and there really isn't anything done with this. We know that Cassie has range, but she ends up outshone by her co-stars on the show because of the script. Even the storyline at the beginning of the show was a lot more interesting, a girl struggling to make it. By season 2, the main focus is her relationship drama with Nick, or whatever other guy she's gonna have a relationship with. It feels like the writers didn't know how to write anything deeper for Abby's character, so she's essentially stuck in this role of just being the girl that's guy crazy. Sure, she wants to make it as an actress, but it even seems that that motivation is put on the back burner. It makes me sad for Cassie, honestly, because you can tell that she was kind of typecasted in a way, based on her looks. It feels like she was paired with Nick because he's nice to her and validates her feelings, but there isn't much else there. And after that, her relationships get less interesting to me. Sabrina finds out that she got the job, but she has to move to New Orleans. Both of them clearly don't want to break up, but they also want to advance their careers as comedians. Nick talks to Alicia on the phone, who encourages him to go with Sabrina to New Orleans, but she turns his offer down because she also cares about Nick's dreams of becoming a comedian. She doesn't want him to resent her or give up pursuing his dream.
You don't grind hard enough, and you could be so amazing. You gotta get up every night. You gotta start working harder, and if you move to New Orleans, you'll be doing the exact opposite. You know I'm right. This is where you need to be.
Infinite's demanding $5 million in hush money.
Maybe I want $1 million. Maybe I want a record deal. Maybe I just want to post a video on YouTube. Want me to keep quiet? $5 million. Oh, and I always wanted to say this. You got 24 hours.
and Caldrick's willing to give it to him. Rook suggests another way to get rid of their infinite problem.
I'll take care. Take care of your how, Rook. I'll deal with Jess.
Caldrick's response shows his growth since the beginning of the series.
Take care of your how, Rook. You gonna beat him up? We did that already. You gonna kill him? We killers now? The last time we went to the gun range, you burned your hand. I'll get us out of it. There is no us. I'm gonna pay him off and this will all be over with.
And Rook worries that Infinite might have other copies of the security footage. Later at the hospital visiting his father, Rook stops by and Caldrick tells him to pay him and get out of his life.
I never meant for Jess to get his hands on. No, you meant to keep it for yourself. Come on, you know it ain't even like exactly like that. Just pay the kid his money and get the hell out of my life. Everything I've ever done, I did it to protect you, man. Come on, man.
You honestly kind of sympathize with Rook at this moment, even though he shouldn't have taken the tape. After choosing Walter over him, of course he'd be angry. It doesn't mean what he did was right. It was messed up to even consider outing your friend or holding that as a leverage over him, but he wasn't thinking in the moment and then got careless. He clearly was probably never going to use it against Caldrick. After finding out his father had another stroke, there's no longer brain activity. It's sad that he was never able to come out to his father and introduce Christopher to him. He also has a moment where he gets to say his final words to his father, and it's a really sad scene. I was already on the verge of tears.
I never introduced you to him. We started all this too late, Walter. Thank you for showing me that a man can change. Thank you for coming back into my life. I love you. Goodbye, Dad.
Later, he decides to write a letter to the world, the words he couldn't say to his father.
This is the letter I should have written to my father, but it's too late for that now. I was raised to be tough, to not take anything from anyone. It's a lonely way to walk through this world. I spent my whole life trying to impress you. All it did was make me hate you.
All the time that we've seen with this character culminated in this very moment.
And when I finally found someone who loved me, who I thought I could love back, it made me hurt them. Hurt them so they could never be unhurt. I tore that love apart and myself apart with it. I'm tired of being here in this place. It feels like nowhere. I'm tired of caring what people think about me. I'm tired of being afraid.
Showing us how he's able to reflect on his actions and finally give himself the acceptance he was never able to before.
I've met someone that makes me want to breathe in this world again. None of these lies I told made me stronger. None of the secrets I kept made me happier. I'm gonna try telling the truth. My truth. My name is Sean Dugan, aka Caldrick King. I'm gay.
Knowing that he's taken one step forward to being able to be comfortable with himself, not needing to please everyone to finally make himself happy, he posts the letter online for everyone to finally know who he is. We know that he'll be able to have someone that will support him, and someone he can confide in when things get difficult. Being able to reveal himself to the world is a huge step, especially because of the judgment he's bound to face. But the fact that we got to see Caldrick get to this point with himself was very fulfilling to watch. Raquel is getting closer to Mark, who wants to come to the fundraiser they have planned for the film. Raquel wants out because she's worried about Mark getting in trouble. Once again, we have Raquel entering another relationship with a man and risking his livelihood in the process. Manny isn't ready to just let her walk, though. He starts becoming threatening, trying to scare her into continuing their arrangement. At first, she's intimidated by him, but later decides to return the scanning device. As she's handing it back to him, Mark calls her into his office where she thinks that he caught her, but he was really inviting her to go away with him for the weekend. Beth is distraught when she finds out how difficult it will be to get Simon back. She's 18, she doesn't have a job, a place to live. Simon would most likely end up in the system.
Even if the judge declares that he is an unfit parent, that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get custody. You're 18, you don't have a job. It's more than likely that the judge won't grant you custody. Simon will go into the system. Group homes, foster care.
Her father comes in to talk to her later, saying how he's in a better place.
You stopped being our father when you left us with $20 in a box of cereal!
I may have lost you, and if I did, I'm gonna have to regret that for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna lose Simon too. For all of this, I was a good father. Look, if you want to see your brother, you're gonna have to come with Yukon.
When he left, his wife had just died, and he probably couldn't handle everything, and I get that, but it doesn't make what he did right, leaving his daughter to watch his son, not checking in, not letting them know if he's alright. Apparently, according to Beth, before their mother died, he was a good father to them. Cam even encourages her to use the time to focus on her own life.
Was he a good father before your mother died?
Yeah, he was.
Losing your wife? I mean, I'm not making excuses for him, but maybe he means what he says.
He's taking Simon and there's nothing I can do about it.
He's lucky he had you. You should try living for yourself for a while.
Even though it'll be hard for her to let go of the responsibility she had taking care of Simon, it does feel like toward the end the writers didn't really know how to wrap up this plot line because everything feels like it's happening a little fast. It makes sense what they were trying to do, showing Beth and her interest in what she wants to do with her future. They also wanted to create a situation where Beth and Simon would be separated, so Beth could have time to be her own person.
I found the school up in the Yukon. It's not great, but it'll count as course credits if I ever make it back to USC. At least until I know Simon Simon's gonna be okay, and then I can come back, maybe.
I just wish it was a little better written with the aspect of the father coming back. All that time and he hasn't even called, and then all of a sudden he just shows up. I guess he could have been ashamed of the fact that he left them, but it just feels really rushed to just have him show up and take Simon. The episode ends with Cam, Kevin, Raquel, and Connor showing the trailer for the film they made at the Lux.
I got home yesterday and found my brother in my room in a dog suit.
That's weird.
He died when I was 8.
So the dog suit wasn't the weird part then?
How did you do that?
Nick decides to hurry off somewhere, at first making us think that he's going to the airport, when he really went to a comedy club to start working on making his dream come true. Abby was the one that went to the airport when she came up with the idea to go to Germany to pursue Greg. Mark is seen getting arrested for what Raquel was doing. The way the ending is filmed kind of gave me chills, with every character staring into the camera. The final line is given by Raquel.
We need something.
It makes me feel like they knew that the show wasn't getting picked up. The lyrics of the song playing are... which just feels fitting for the ending here. At the same time, it also feels like they hoped it would get picked up by the way they decide to end it. The final face we see is Rook's. I remembered there was a cliffhanger, but I couldn't remember what it was. And when I watched it again, it came back to me. I was screaming all over again because of this. I'm so angry that we didn't get another season. I feel like we just got to a point where there was going to be some interesting character development for Raquel, Connor, and Caldrick particularly. The show literally just felt like it peaked and it's over. There were so many interesting places that this could have gone, and it's sad that we'll never get that conclusion. It's shocking because I think that the show has a lot of what drama viewers were looking for too. There's a good balance between comedy and drama. There's some annoying parts here and there, but I think at the core the show is pretty good, which is the sad part in all of this. Season 2, like I said, is a better written season overall. I think the Simon and Beth storyline is probably a better storyline overall than Alicia's, since there's more time and dedication to it. However, like I said, I wish the father angle was focused on a little better. Plot lines for this season feel like they're stretched out at points, when focus could be elsewhere. For example, Connor making the arrangement with Jennifer, and then switching to the Charlotte and the Church of Cyanetics plotline. It just feels like we don't have enough time to focus on the sister storyline, since it was just introduced in the last few episodes of the season. However, they probably had more planned with that storyline. I just feel like maybe they could have chosen one of them and focused more deeply on it. The church plotline could have had a lot more time to see them having an influence on Connor. It just feels like it's a little too late in the season to start another storyline like this. Abby's storylines also switch midway through from the Saving Grace threesome plotline to her meeting this guy and marrying him right away, and neither are particularly interesting. We also don't get a conclusion to the pregnancy storyline with Raquel, which I have to assume it's maybe because she had a miscarriage, but it's also not even acknowledged. It's possible that it could have been planned to come up in the following season. Out of all the characters on the show, it's no surprise that Caldrick was the most moving to me, as well as Raquel and Connor, although my intrigue in Connor started to kind of taper off towards the end. I think there's so much to praise about Caldrick's storyline. The show does take some interesting turns with Caldrick in season 2 that shows him finally coming to terms with his sexuality, while also reflecting on why he's so violent. I think the exploration of this behavior is interesting, and definitely strays away from the typical path of violent gay man accepting he's gay trope. His storyline is also about a man changing who he is to become a better person for himself and the ones he cares about. It's about someone who's drowning in the expectations of masculinity, trying to be someone that doesn't care about what others think. At the same time, I'm aware that this trope can have its shortcomings, since the end goal is typically gay guy accepts himself now, when there's a lot more nuance to what gay people in society have to deal with. I think the intention here was to depict the nuanced experience of a black man that holds a lot of toxic expectations of masculinity. Did they get it entirely right? No. I've had my complaints in the past about Degrassi and the limitations of black character writing, but the LA Complex has more freedom to explore a black man who's angry and violent, while also learning to take accountability for that. Black gay men aren't usually the forefront in television, especially two black men in a relationship. I think Caldrick is a worthwhile character, and it's a shame that we didn't get to see him grow more. We see that he's a flawed individual, harbored by the guilt and shame that he holds. He's someone that's afraid to love, and afraid to be loved by someone who sees through all those flaws. Because he has such a cold exterior at times, I find it even more interesting when he lets his guard down. I read some interesting information about casting for Caldrick. Apparently, according to the creator of the show, it was more difficult since a lot of men didn't end up showing up for auditions. Of course, it's a role that not every man is going to be comfortable taking on, especially black men. Andra Fuller talked about his experience with playing Caldrick. When I accepted this role and what it entailed, my family and friends were like, "Why do you want to play a gay dude?" They also wanted to know why every time a black man is shown on TV as gay, he has to be on the down low. But they didn't look at that ramification. I'm playing a very successful down low rapper on a network television show. That's never happened before. As an actor, you don't run away from a role because it doesn't coexist with your personal lifestyle. If I take a role as a mass murderer, I don't think I would ever have the gall to kill someone in my real life, but I'm not going to run away from it because I don't believe in murder. The gay and lesbian community have been super supportive, very gracious and appreciative of what I've been putting into Caldrick. It's definitely an honor to be chosen to play this character in this storyline. I try my damnedest every day to step on set and do it justice. It clearly wasn't an easy decision to make, but I appreciate the actor taking on this role and giving Caldrick the depth and nuance he deserved. Depicting a black man with violent tendencies can be a gray area, but the LA Complex was taking steps to push past the norm and depict a black rapper in the industry struggling with his sexuality, which is a plotline that isn't really ever written about. I also found out that the show was planned to have a spin-off at some point. The creator was really trying to push to make it happen, and you can tell that he's clearly passionate about this idea and wanted to see if it would respond well years later, but he eventually couldn't get the backing for it, so the project just got cancelled altogether, which really sucks. I think the show also could have stood a better chance if it was solely produced by the CW, but since it was also tied to a Canadian company where the views were not really great, Bell Media pulling out before the CW probably made it clear to them that the show wasn't worth investing in solely, along with the ratings also not being where they wanted them to be. The show also didn't have a permanent time slot, having the time and day of the week it aired eventually changing. It made sense why a lot of people weren't tuning in compared to other shows on the network at the time. I also think the characters didn't stand out enough to keep people watching. Even though there were interesting storylines, I think a lot of people just stopped watching by then. Even though I find the premise interesting, it clearly wasn't enough to keep audiences watching either. Unfortunately, the ratings never got better, even though there was a lot to like about the show. I also wonder if the CW was advertising the show like their other shows on the network, like The Vampire Diaries and Supernatural, because that could have also contributed to people not tuning in. There are many contributing factors to why a show inevitably gets cancelled, even though we'll never get a resolution for these plot lines. I think the LA Complex is worth the watch. I thought it was very enjoyable, even if we see some of the same tired tropes. I still think it had a lot of potential to go places, and unfortunately we'll never know, but I'm glad I rewatched it. I think it left a much deeper impression on me the second time I watched this. Being an adult that can appreciate all that went into it, I'd really like to know what you thought of this show. Did you watch it when it first came out? Do you think the show could have gone on longer? Why do you think it got cancelled? I'd love to hear all of your opinions. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.